Hey, we're here. Welcome in. We're here again. We're back again. If you caught our radio show 7 to 8, now you catch the show we meant to do Tuesday and are now doing Friday. Because normally what we're going to do is we'll do a game review show earlier in the week, and then we'll just do our Friday radio show and call it good.
Yeah, because I don't want to be up that late, but
Yeah, and because it's kind of a lot of us. I mean, it's even a lot for me. It's even a lot.
I'm sick of me. I don't even want to, whatever.
But tonight we got to do it because
We got to do it.
There's a lot of things to review, and the tape don't lie, right, Ben? The tape don't lie.
That's correct. It does not lie. So I don't know when you want to do it. If you go right away or what, but I'm drinking some Sun Drop.
We will. A Sun Drop. I've got the cucumber mint Kolsch from Delta Beer Lab.
Stop drinking that. Ever since
like
you've been
it
drinking
so
that, the
much.
Packers have lost. They lost
like
in the
it so
preseason.
much.
It says Skull right on it, like the Mo says.
It says Kolsch.
It's purple. It's a purple and yellow can that says Skull right on it. And you wonder why the Packers lost to the Vikings. It's because of you, and you're drinking that crap.
Oh, the reason the Packers lost the fight, there are many reasons they lost. Mostly they were outcoached, and also offensively they chose to not do what they were supposed to do, and there you go. And then defensively, the guys didn't want to do their assignments sometimes. Certain guys. Anyway,
It's funny how you should say that. Let's just
Did I
get
say that?
going. Let's
Did I
just
say
get
that?
going. I don't even care
Nope.
anymore.
okay, go for it. The only thing I'll say before we jump into the videos and the complete game review is that I think what we said on the radio show that needs to be pointed out again is Matt LaFleur said the Packers didn't run the ball enough with A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones. Aaron Rodgers said they didn't stick with the run long enough. But the follow-up question there that none of the media asked was, why? Well, why didn't you run the ball more with those guys? If you're both saying you should have run the ball with them, why? Let's hear the answer to that question. Come on, Green Bay media. Come on, people. Ask the right question. Ask the follow-up. They laid it out there for you. It was like a slow pitch softball. They both said it. Then say, well, then why didn't you run it more? I'd love to hear their answer to that. Okay, let's go to the tape.
We got the tape.
Why
We're
didn't
good?
they run it more? Yeah, we're up.
All right, we're just looking at defensive play, or actually a different defensive series. We're talking about miscommunications. This is after Quay Walker got injured. I don't know how soon after Quay Walker got injured or what's going on. If you look here, I'm circling. You can see my cursor, right?
Yep.
That's
We
Chris
got
Barnes. Chris Barnes coming in the game.
Oh, dang.
You got Kenny Clark, Reed, Preston, Gary. So you got your starters here on the D line. Eric Stokes, Douglas, and Douglas, of course, with his hands up in the air, asking for the play call, because of course nobody's told anybody. Of course, Campbell's supposed to be giving us the play call.
Defensive captain Devondre Campbell wasn't given the play call. Let's go.
Well, here's the thing, and you got Jair over here, Amos, Savage here.
Ooh.
As we go forward, you watch Rasul's looking for the play call. He still doesn't know what the play call is. Campbell's trying to tell everybody, hey, this. Nobody knows what's going on. Rasul doesn't know. He still doesn't know. They're not getting communication on the play call in the secondary coverage. And look at
Well, they're not even ready. Okay.
Rasul never got the play call. He doesn't know what to do. All he knows he sees this guy in front of him. Okay, Stokes is here in front of him. Over here we got our good buddy Justin Jefferson, right?
Yeah.
He's going to come on a deep cross route. This is going to be an under cross route. The back's going to come out over here. Jair is doing some kind of quarters coverage or something. So he goes back. This is Amos now. Somehow Savage and Amos have switched. Amos is going to go here. Stokes is going to go here. Savage, unfortunately, is going to have to trail and cover
You got
Jefferson.
Do you know down and distance on this?
I don't.
Okay.
It's not.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm not sure.
I'm just, they're all super far off. I'm like, why are they all? So
Well, I'm
far?
guessing it's like 1st and 10 or something.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
But what I'm saying is this. Because of the way their coverage is, now these guys obviously got the call to know what to do. Because Campbell looked at them and told them. These two guys down here did not get the call. Whatever it is, I don't know. They're not sure. At least Douglas is not sure. But when Jefferson comes through this part of the field, Savage is supposed to pick him up, I guess. And then Jair has this. So Jair stays here because the back comes over here. even though he's 15 yards away from him and isn't going to be able to do anything if for some reason Cousins would throw it there. So you're going to see Douglas stick with his guy. You're going to see Savage have to trail. And you're going to see Campbell follow the tight end over here. Okay?
All right. This is Packers at Vikings game review here.
So now as you see what the play's coming, Douglas is looking at the guy in front of him.
Okay.
You got Stokes here. Amos is going deep to help, deep coverage. Savage, you looking here, he's looking right at Jefferson. So it's one-on-one, Savage, Jefferson. That's never good.
Oh, my God.
Heads up.
Look at all the room between Jair and that guy in the flat and the other guy. So this defense is called no flat. No flat coverage. Okay, got it.
Well, I mean, Campbell. I mean, here the back's open. Tight end's open. Here you got Douglas and Savage running into each other. And 17, Osborne is like shoving both of them.
Yeah, he looks like he's blocking them. Okay.
I don't know how that's legal, but apparently it is.
Nice, okay.
And then, so Cousins threw the hardest pass he could because Savage did get there because he's fast enough. But what I'm saying is we saw the miscommunication at the start of the play and how some people didn't know what to do. Some people did. Look at it. Savage is mad. He's super mad. He gets up and he starts doing look
he
at
doesn't
even,
know what's going on.
Nobody knows what's going on. Not a single guy knows what's going on.
Okay, so the question on that is they had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. They none of these guys had to play in the preseason, but they weren't going to play these defenses anyway. So what were these magical defenses that they didn't know what they were doing on? Where did they come from? And how did it, in 2 weeks to get ready for this one game, how did they not know what they were doing? That's weird.
Am I still sharing here?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, I just want you to watch right here.
Okay,
this is Kingsley Enagbare right here.
He was in a lot more than I expected. Why was he in the field so much? Oh my God.
Well, why don't you watch him and you'll find out why? Because he actually is good.
Okay.
So I'm just going to let it play. Just watch 55. Watch what he does here. Takes on the block, gets off the block, makes a tackle. Nice play.
Yeah, he had a lot to do. He had a lot on his plate on that.
Watch it,
and he dealt with it.
Watch it here again.
Yeah, he dealt with it and he got off it. Because he's not in a great spot there.
Off that block, he had to run through two guys and then still made the tackle. That's a good play.
Mm-hmm.
Very good play against the run. Now here he is again. Let's watch him again. He's still out there. Let's watch what he does in this play. Coverage. Watch him. He took away the passing lane to the tight end. Or actually, it might have even been Jefferson for all I know. Yeah, they got him on Jefferson for some reason. Well, he's playing his zone. Mm-hmm. But he's high load with Amos on top. That was pretty good coverage. That looks way better than Preston Smith backing up into coverage. Yeah. Here he is again. He's back in here in another play. I'll watch him on this play. Takes on the block. Gets off the block. Now, he didn't make the tackle, but he kept that play from getting to the outside because he stayed with the right tackle. Now watch him again. Watch how he takes on the block. Does not let. And this is their all-pro right tackle. Look at him.
Yeah, he set the edge.
Fights him. He got held, by the way, on that play. So those are all good plays. Now he comes out, and here's Preston Smith in the same position. Now I want you to watch Preston Smith on this play.
P. Smith is making lots of money.
Gets off the block, misses the tackle. The running back gets 10 yards. Now, I don't here watch Preston from this angle. It's even more sad,
right?
Because he gets out. And he has Dean Lowry's back to help him, and he still can't make the tackle on that. And you just saw Kingsley and Enagbare break off at 2. I don't know if you want to take this off because now I'm going crazy. What?
That's all right. Crazy. That's the signal for this round is done.
Yeah, cool,
okay,
good, all right, good.
Okay.
But anyways, you saw there, Kingsley and Enagbare's pretty solid out there. Like I don't think he was doing too bad. And you said something about his hustle after the game. I just think you weren't paying attention. He was trailing on a couple plays there, but he still made some great plays. Am I super delayed here, or what's going on? Because I'm looking at myself and I'm like super delayed. Am I getting choppy or weird, or am I coming through good?
Okay, you were good, and then you were a little weird, but no, I think you're okay. I don't know.
All right, well, whatever.
Your sniff, well, you're a little off, but that's okay. You're always a little off, but not on this. You're right on. It's interesting. I think that was a note as the game was going on. I was like, because we had talked about it, right? We got Preston, we got Gary, oh my gosh, they should play all the time, and and then I saw Enigbari out there a lot. I saw a lot of substitutions at the outside linebacker, and I was like, well, this is interesting. I don't know what's up, but it's nice to see that in snaps, taking a closer look at him and reviewing it, that he was pretty good. And Preston Smith, let me just say this about him: that technique was terrible. He's so high.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing that he was able to even take on the block in the first place, because he's basically standing straight up. Like, I don't care how big you are. If you're standing straight up, a guy that's 250 pounds, even a tight end, should be able to push you over or move you out of the way. But
Plus
in the process of that, he's so high that when he goes to try to tackle, there's no base, okay? And there's no power because you don't have your legs bent, okay? He's already too high. He's just diving, rather than, if his legs were bent, he could actually spring out with more force and maybe get his head in front of the guy. Remember that head? Get in front of the ball, head, arm, ball carrier between arm and head, stops ball carrier. Head on the wrong side, just arm does not stop ball carrier. That's kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
So,
It's
anyway.
bad stuff.
It's not great.
It's not great.
Lee's here. Lee, how are you? Zero. Leith likes Enigbari in the draft. He said it was a steal.
I liked him too.
Vikes were a formidable offense. Always play us hard. They do. And yeah, I mean, look. And Kirk Cousins, 5-4 head-to-head. 5 wins in 9 games versus Aaron Rodgers. So you can't deny that. Sorry. That's just truth. Brandy's here too. Vikings. New Packers would only send 4. Yeah, probably most of the time. This play tape is a headache after a few too many. Yeah, I know.
Well, here's a good play. Why don't you click me on? Let me
David,
know
how
when
you
you're
doing?
showing.
Yep, we'll get you in there. So let's put it. We got good plays too. There was some good. There was some ugly. We'll cover it all. And not too many.
Am I in?
You are on. So we got
All right.
defensive. We're on defense here. Let's see what we got.
You know, I am known to be a Kenny Clark bag on guy, and I don't
You are?
say how he's good at getting beating the guy in front of him, and then doesn't do anything after that.
Yep.
Well, he had a lot of good plays actually on Sunday.
Hey.
He played really well. After watching the tape, he was one of the better players on the field, and this is a great play. It shows him beating his guy. Actually, they kind of almost didn't block him, but that's fine. He got pressure on the quarterback, which then threw to the tight end, and then you see Rasul Douglas making a shoestring tackle. Beautiful play. Packers team defense. Oh, that's not it. I take that back. That was something totally different.
Oh.
But
Well,
that was
he
him.
did- yeah,
he did make a
something.
good play on that, where he got double hit, and then he flowed with the ball and then made the tackle. This must be the play I was talking. Yeah,
He
here we
looked
go. Here's
Quicker
the-
too. He looked charged.
Look at that.
up.
You see that?
Yeah. Yeah. He made short work of him there.
And these are 2 plays in a row. Watch Kenny Clark on this play. He does get the pressure, and he does cause the incompletion. Look at this. Swim move. Smack. That was great.
Which, when you're short, you shouldn't be able to do, but he does it. And put it. Okay, let's do this real quick. I did the same thing. I was only 5'10", and when I was playing D tackle, when I was 160 pounds, 5'10", I tried to swim all the time. I don't know why swim is my go-to move. My coach was always like, "You're not that tall. You should really rip more." But swim was the way I went. So I'd have like a 6'3" guy blocking me, and I try to swim him because that's just what I don't know. And sometimes it works, just like Kenny Clark. I mean, not like Kenny Clark, but I'm just saying it can work. You can be short and you can swim. That's the point.
Yeah.
Look, and I'm gonna give you credit because this is why we're fair and we're truthful. Like you do, you talk about Kenny Clark all the time and how much he doesn't live up to the price tag, and here you are saying he had a really pretty good game and showing positive plays that he made, and he did show up in this game. So when guys play well, we'll say it.
Yeah. I mean, those two plays showed, good against the run, and also good pass protect or good pass rush.
Zero's asking about the Jefferson wide open plays. Do you want to?
We're gonna get there. We're gonna do defense first, and then we'll get there.
Zero. We'll get there. There were some reasons for that, at least a few times.
Yeah. All right, we're going another play. This is the one I was just talking. I set up and then I played the wrong one, so I apologize. So as you're looking here, I don't know if you got me on the screen again.
Yep, we got you.
Okay, so as you're looking here, you're going to see Thielen comes in motion. And he goes down on this side in the yellow arrow. Mm-hmm. And when he does that, Quay Walker goes with him.
Ooh, Quay Walker.
You got, I think this is Jefferson, but I could be wrong. He's in the purple, going to do a deeper mid cross. You got this guy doing an out route in blue, and then the tight end does a fake block smoke out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's what the offense does on this play. And Kenny Clark with another swim move. Dang.
I told you. You
And
can
pressure.
still do-
And as soon, the other thing I wanted, the reason why I'm showing those arrows there, I want to show something real quick, which seems dumb, but it's actually cool, and it shows why Rasul is so good. He breaks on the ball. See this? Cousins' arm is up, ready to throw, and Rasul's going to break immediately. Right now, he's 7 yards away. But watch, as soon as that ball, but he almost arrives at the same time as the ball because he breaks as soon as Cousins throws the ball. Catch, tackle, done. And that's why Douglas is so good in the open field. And then I just wanted you to, I'm showing, these are two guys that make the play here. Kenny Clark with the penetration, swim move on the outside. Rasul Douglas with the play recognition and tackle. A good team defense. Two playmakers that we need to make plays, making a play. Clark with the pressure, Douglas with the tackle. Awesome stuff. It doesn't get any better than that, if you ask me. Back to the forever screen.
Let me just say one thing that also stuck out to me during this game, watching this game. How saddened I was and surprised that the Vikings had not retired number 4, and that Dalvin Cook could wear that number. I was shocked. To be honest.
Oh, that's not nice.
I mean, don't you think the Vikings, the closest they've been to the Super Bowl in however long, and and with a Hall of Fame quarterback, when is the last time the Vikings had a player who was a Hall of Fame quarterback on their team? There's only one other one, right? Like some guy that I can't remember. David, maybe you know it. Anyway, point is, I think 4 should have been retired, and Dalvin Cook shouldn't have been able to wear it. Okay, continue on if you got more plays. Let's see. Zero says the Bears could be. Zero says the Bears could be a trap game. It could be, but not. Hey, if you were around on a radio show, Nick says they're going to win by 60. The Packers.
Yeah. Nicola is no fear.
Eggis says, they're going to win big. Everybody's feeling really good because it's Sunday night game. It's at home. It's the Bears who they've beaten. Not just, and I said this on the radio show. 11 out of the last 12 times the Packers have won. But do you know, as I looked it up, since the start of the 2011 season, so the start of the 2011 season, the Bears have only won 3 times in 11 years against the Packers. So anyway, if you ever took a bet, if you were betting that whole last 11 years, if you bet Packers every time, you would have a lot of money. All right, you got more plays here. Let's go more plays.
Yeah, here we got some good team defense over here. You're going to see Dean Lowry take on a double team and still make the tackle. And you're going to watch Quay Walker right here get to the outside to make sure that Dalvin Cook has got nowhere to go. So here's a really good play. These two guys here. I don't even know what Preston does on this, but he's out here. I don't know what he does. I guess I wasn't watching that. Pay attention to that. But don't worry about that. Just look at Dean Lowry and watch how good he does here. Look at that. Ooh, that was cool. He does that quick shift motion because he kind of knew the play was going that way. And luckily, I want you to watch how Quay Walker stays where he is and only moves out once he sees Cook get to that outside running.
He's flowing. He's just kind of shuffling that way to kind of keep his eyes up and be able to move in either direction right now. He's not overcommitting, which is smart.
Now, the other thing that's really good right here, I think this is Kenny Clark. Look at he only got single blocked, but look how he pushed this guy so far in the backfield that Dalvin Cook can't get to the hole. The other thing, Dean Lowry is getting double teamed at the moment, but he split the double team, and he's the guy who's going to make this play. I don't know what Preston's doing. Oh, he's getting blocked by a tight end, getting held, by the way. Look at that jersey getting yanked. But it's really good run defense. Look at that. Dean Lowry, Quay Walker, Smackaroonie. They stretched it out to the outside. Kenny Clark took his one-on-one and blocked it really well, or, took on that initial hit. Okay, now this I played because this is the stupid Jefferson getting covered by Preston Smith for reasons nobody knows. Like, what are we doing here? That was the very next play. So you have a really good run defensive play, and then you put Preston on covering the flat, and it's like wide receiver. one of the top receivers in the league. It just makes no sense.
100 times out of 100 times, Kirk Cousins will throw that ball there.
And then this is the pass interference that really wasn't pass interference, but we got the Packer call on that one.
Well, this is the one where Jair said he was so great, but that's only because Jefferson didn't even run a pass pattern here.
No,
he just ran straight.
Yeah.
When guys just run straight, Eric Stokes can cover them well. When they change direction, he can't. So if guys just run straight, they're pretty darn easy to cover. Let's be real. Unless they're blazing fast and can blow past you.
And this is another...
There's Rasul again.
That was Rasul again, and also pressure on the outside from Preston Smith. So we'll just stop sharing. But I'm just throwing some stuff out there. Quick shots of plays. I have more breakdown type plays coming, but those are the ones that I didn't get a chance to really break down. Did I show this Kenny Clark one already? I think I did. So I don't know what you saw there. If you want to talk about, some things you saw while I get another video going here.
Well,
but it's...
I said to start the game, they all looked a little flat. But it was hard to say because the Vikings, that first drive, they just right down the field and, some big plays, some runs, some lots of completed balls. Didn't seem like a lot of pass rush or resistance. So they kind of all look flat. But I saw Rasul settle into the game after the first possession or two, and then he was looking like himself. So maybe some of that early stuff was miscommunication. Apparently they have some communication problems on defense as well that you just showed before. And maybe some of it was, I don't know, him just not feeling the energy of the other guys. Because, a couple of those sideline shots, which we noted and everybody saw, they just look so deflated and so just, I don't know. It was sad. It was sad. These guys, they make a crap load of money to play a game. Like, you can't get excited for that? I don't know. I know it's their job, but geez, man. I don't know. And I will say this. Football is weird and sports are weird in the way that you can practice really well and you can have a great week of practice and then have a bad game. That happens all the time. You can also be in a game and not and like things aren't going well and you can't understand why, which is why you need the coaches and their analysis of what's happening to help you fix certain things. And that's at all levels, peewee, and up in high school and college and pros. But I remember in some high school games, and Raider Rick would know this, that we had a game our senior year. We had a very good team, and I won't spend too much time on this, so don't go away, don't leave the show. But we were playing one of the worst teams, a school in our conference who had lost 81 straight games. 81 straight games. And we should have blown those guys out of the water. And it was a close game for the whole first half. And you're just like, what's going on here? Like, why? What? And sometimes it's like that. You have preparation. You're clearly a good team. And you just can't figure out why stuff isn't working right. So that can happen. But still, it's professional football. And these dudes had 2 weeks to prepare. Let's go. At least look fired up. Lee says, good breakdown. Run D was good. It was good for pretty much for most of the game. The zone defense was bad and vanilla, in his opinion, very vanilla. So that might be a new flavor for the chocolate shop. They have all these flavors. Brandy says, at what point should LaFleur get in Barry's business during a game? That is a very good question. Well, he tends to, not get involved. A lot of head coaches do. Like, if they're not a defensive guy, they kind of stay back and they let the coordinator do what they do. And Matt LaFleur is a junior coach compared to these guys, right? He's a lot younger than them. He was a lot younger and inexperienced compared to Mike Pettin. So, but he ultimately, he's a head coach. If stuff's not going right, he's got to step in. He's got to take responsibility at the end of the game, right? All right, let's look at more plays.
All right, well, here's the touchdown.
Here we go.
To Jefferson at the end of the first half.
All right, you're set.
So if you're looking at it, pre-snap read is single high safety, but if you look at where the corners are, you can see it's more like triple coverage zone deep because Savage is right here at the 30-yard line. If you see my cursor spinning around him. You got Preston, 2 defensive linemen, Gary over here, Quay Walker, Campbell. And Douglas is right up on his guy. So I don't know what this actually means. Is this man coverage, but you're 10 yards off? Man coverage, but you're 10 yards off? And then Douglas is man coverage and he's right on the guy? Or is this some sort of disguise where Douglas is supposed to be playing zone and these guys are all playing zone? We're going to watch and see what happens because Jefferson is right here. He's going to just come like this and sneak over here like this. Up here, you got Thielen run straight and takes up the coverage of Eric Stokes. And Osborne comes across like this, which takes Rasul Douglas out of the play.
All right, let's see. Is this one where Ja drops him?
Yes.
Okay, so let's look at it here. Because you would think if this is going to be zone for those corners, they wouldn't be quite playing. Okay, advance a little further. Let's see.
Well, here's the thing I wanted to point out. Right here, Douglas is playing man. Right. I mean, he's clearly playing man.
Right.
But it's zone here. I don't know what this is with Savage.
So could be some kind of man-zone combo.
Zone. So I don't know if Douglas is the guy who's screwing up. Based on Jerry Gray's comments, because they asked him about this play, he said that Jair was supposed to go across the field with Jefferson.
Which it looked like that was the case to me in game. I'm like, Ja just dropped him right there. Just dropped him in coverage, and because he's going, but then he turned late. You look at Jefferson, it's not like it was an amazing pattern or anything.
No. He doesn't even get touched. Nobody touches him. Why doesn't Savage bump him or do something since he's closer to the line of scrimmage? But he doesn't. Sorry to interrupt you, but
no, it's fine. It's just that Jair looked like he was late in deciding or got looking at something else. Maybe he's looking at the quarterback, not the receiver. And then the way this developed, where he saw the other guy coming over, he just let him go.
Well, he's so far back too.
Yeah,
I mean, he's not anywhere near him. And now, if Douglas would be playing, he was bumped up here. Either way, this play would have been a huge play, one way or the other. Because even if he stays in the zone, and Douglas is playing so far up, right? He was never going to be. Even if he was playing a zone, he's supposed to play a zone. He would have been over here somewhere. But it's just a very weird. Look at how open this is down here. Look at how open this is over here. If they had a back sneak out somewhere,
right?
They're wide open. There's no coverage over in the flats. And if we move a little bit further, Jair is still moving backwards. He's looking here. He's worried about what's happening, even though Douglas is trailing. And then,
okay, don't advance any further because let's look at this right now. So if you look at the bottom part of the field, by
there's no
the
Vikings.
numbers, there's 0 Vikings over there. There's 0 Vikings, right? What are they?
But what's Savage?
Why is Savage there? Why is Jair looking to stop and go back that way? Who is he covering? Who are they going to stop? And this is part of the problem with zone defense. Sometimes you just have guys occupying space where nobody is on the other team, and it's kind of dumb. I don't know. It drives me crazy to watch it, but whatever. Okay, continue on. Sorry.
Well, the other thing is the attack of the concept. So because Thielen has taken this all the way out and he just takes everybody away, that opens up for Jefferson here, the tight end who went out and then came through here, and then the running back on a drag behind him right here. So they're all attacking 3 different levels on this side of the field of a zone where there's only Quay Walker left. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So either Douglas should not be playing man right now, which could be the case. Maybe he's the guy who's doing it wrong. Based on Jerry Gray's comments, he said Jair should have probably gone across the field. But either way, this attacks one part of the field. So if you're playing zone, you're eating right into the Vikings' hands here. They don't care about this side of the field. They've got 4 guys over here and a clear out from Thielen. And we've got 1 defender. So even if, Jair would have went with them, one of these 2 guys is going to get the ball. Maybe Campbell can get over here and cover here, and Walker would cover the tight end here. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. And look, now Douglas is here. Jair is here. and there's not a single person back here. Quay Walker is the closest defender, but he's worried about what's in front of him. He's not worried about what's going on back here.
Yeah, he's got short coverage there.
And I want to know. I don't know when the ball was thrown. I kind of want to see when that was, I guess. Sorry, I'm going to go back a little bit. Just want to see when the ball was thrown. Or maybe not. Oh, this is the play before. Okay. But it's interesting because sometimes that's a very important thing, is to see when is the ball thrown as opposed to, when the ball is caught. Like, you think it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it right there. He's already hit his back step.
Yep. And he sees it coming, and he's like, just got to wait one beat.
Yeah. Because he knows.
Throw it.
He's probably looking at Walker right now. He's looking at this stuff over here, and he knows there's nothing there.
Yeah. He knows if
All
Walker
right.
stays up.
The ball is thrown right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's throwing it here at the 20-yard line.
And he knows Eric Stokes isn't going to turn around and come off his guy.
Stokes is covering here. Douglas is covering here.
There's nobody
Walker
else
is
there.
worried about in front of him. And so the ball's already thrown. If this was Aaron Rodgers, he would wait until the receiver is here, and then he would first throw it. You know what I'm saying?
And then he'd be thrown into the sideline to be out of bounds.
Yeah.
Complete. Like, it could be a completion, but the guy would be out of bounds. And then
there's this Amos. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know
Stokes,
what that was.
Stokes either is pathetic.
Okay, yeah, but the Amos was disgusting. That was pathetic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and I love Adrian Amos. He's a great guy.
He was worried about getting juked out.
Oh, what is he doing?
I don't know why he takes
Look
that
how
big,
slow he's moving so slow. And then, what was that?
Well, and he took this big loop. He was like this big arc to get over there, and you're just kind of like, dude, just go attack the guy. You want to tackle him, right?
Yeah. So, I mean,
let's get
so many mistakes and problems. It's really sad.
This is the game review, guys. Sorry if you want to look forward to the Bears. We're not there yet. We got to do what we said we were going to do.
Yeah. I spent all this time in this damn tape. Dang it. We're going to look at it.
Let's see. Some comments here. Oh, yeah, we already covered that one. Zero brought this up before, and I guess answered him a little bit. Who on our defense would you consider to be a leader, a hype-up guy similar to Ray Lewis? Okay, so Zero, we have the answer. The guys that were hyped up when we were at practice,
yeah,
and are the vocal, emotional leaders, are Rashawn Gary and Rasul Douglas.
Yeah.
Even though neither of those guys are captains. Kenny Clark's a captain, Devondre Campbell's a captain, and Adrian Amos a captain. All three of those guys, quiet guys. They don't say much.
They don't say anything.
And on defense, on offense, you got to get pumped up sometimes too, especially on the O-line or a running back if you got to break tackles. But on defense, you got to be pumped up. You got to be ready to rock and roll. You got to be wanting to hit people. And how do you get charged up wanting to hit people? You get vocal. And the three captains are not vocal. They're like quiet dudes who lead by example. And that's great. They play hard and they're good, good guys, reliable. But they're not charge you up kind of guys. The biggest charge you up guys that they have are Douglas and Gary. And maybe they were thinking too much about what am I supposed to be doing in this game because I didn't see a lot of charge up from them. But also, you had 2 weeks to prepare, so why didn't you know what you were doing? I don't get it. Why didn't someone ask that question? You had 2 weeks to prepare. How'd you have all these mistakes? Why don't we get a press pass? We need a press pass because I want to ask the why question. Nobody asked the why. And it's a simple question. It's a question we've been asking. We asked when we were like 2 years old. Remember when you were like 2 years old? Maybe you couldn't speak when you were 2 yet, some of us. Anyway, whatever. Point is, you're young and your parents will tell you to do something. You'll be like, why? Or they say, you can't do that. And you say, why? Why? Great question. It still works. Ask it to the Packers. Continue on.
You got me on looking at the video here?
Jair talks. Hold on. Jair talks like he is, but he's not. He's not. Jair is not. And he's sour about not being named the captain. Like, come on, dude. Eka says, big part of the problem last week with the zones, all the defensive woes, is that Cousins is pretty accurate. Cousins is very accurate. Not pretty accurate. Cousins is very accurate. He doesn't need a huge window. He doesn't have like a super strong arm, but he's very accurate and he's on time. And when you're accurate, you anticipate and you're on time, you can play quarterback well in the NFL, especially if you get time to throw. Fields is not as good of a passer, no doubt. He certainly is not. But Fields he's kind of a gamer. He'll play and he'll run around a little bit. It'll be interesting to see what they do with him. We'll get on to that in a little bit. Lee says, wouldn't you love to see some Green Bay run some creative stuff like that on offense? Yes, we would, and they try to sometimes, and sometimes they do, and sometimes they just run straight. So I don't know what to tell you about that. That's the merging of the offense that we talked about. Yes, players vote on captains, and interesting that the Packers had 21 players get captain votes, Ben, this year.
Yeah, it's too many.
So it just
that means
shows
you don't have a captain. You don't have a real leader on this team.
Right. You don't have clear leaders if you have 21 different players.
You probably would have a clear leader if he was here during the offseason working, but he wasn't around. I mean, there's a group of players that were there the whole offseason, and they have a leadership team. That's probably why Aaron Jones made it, because he was there all offseason working with everybody. And so was Adrian Amos, right? And it's like, and actually all the three of those defender guys were there all offseason, I think. But it's just, I don't know. I don't want to get into it.
I mean, I'm just saying it's out of 46 guys that you know are likely to play, and you don't even know 46 guys. Out of, let's say, 22 starters, and then you add in the specialists as potentially Mason Crosby because he's been a captain before, right?
Yeah.
You have 21 guys get votes? That's way too many. That makes it scary that you don't have clear leaders on the team. And that's just what that says to me. But
yeah.
Anyway, so okay, more videos. Here we go.
Okay, here we go. This is a touchdown, first touchdown. And we're seeing a recurring theme. Now, this is the first time it happened. Here's Rasul Douglas. He's moving in motion. So it would look like it would be man. I don't know what was called. Now, if you look there, he's pointing to somebody and saying, hey, somebody take this guy. Right? And Douglas was lined up out here, so you'd think that was man. So Douglas is telling somebody, hey, take this guy. I don't know quite what's going on. This is definitely zone. Because you look at, he's sitting still. He's sitting still. He's sitting still. Right now, Campbell is switching off. He's telling the cover here. So they're definitely called man. Or called the zone.
Who's by Stokes over there?
It's Amos.
Amos and Stokes are basically like hugging
Amos and
each
Stokes
other.
they're covering Thielen.
But
They're both covering Thielen. Nobody even took Jefferson, who is, and look at Cousins. He's already throwing the ball. He's already letting the ball go. The ball's gone. So what's the problem? Who's supposed to be covering who? I don't know. Douglas is passing it off. Those two guys, neither of them know who's covering who. Who's playing man? Who's playing zone? What was called? I don't know what was called. Nobody knows what was called. But the first time on that touchdown, Rasul tries passing it off. Nobody picks him up. Second time, Rasul doesn't pass off the guy. He stays with his guy. And then nobody picks up Jefferson on the side of the field where he would have been. But he was so far close to the line of scrimmage, I don't think it would have mattered. So I don't know if it's Douglas who's screwing up. I don't know if it's everybody else who's screwing up. I don't know if it's obviously a man coverage, or obviously a zone coverage. Nobody knows unless you heard the call. And based on Jerry Gray, I don't even think he knows. I mean, his press conference, he seemed like a dingus McGingus out there.
Well,
but it's all what's promising, guys, is it's all communication problems.
Right. And we can fix that.
So, like, everybody's like, Justin Jefferson is so good.
No.
How good is it when you're that wide open? Because the guy didn't cover you. Like, yeah. And I've said this many times, I don't think Jefferson's really that great. Like, he's good. He catches everything, thank God. But he's always open. Like, is he invisible? Like, when you get on the field and you're playing defense against Justin Jefferson, does he all of a sudden disappear? Because that's what it seemed like happened the other day. He just disappeared and nobody saw him. And then next thing you know, he's wide open.
He's wearing the same, him and Zadarius Smith share a cloak or something.
Yeah.
Because that was why they didn't block Zadarius on a bunch of plays too. And then made him seem like he had such a monster game. Now, he had some big plays, but he took a bunch of plays off again. And he wasn't as consistently energetic or effort that gave as consistent effort as you would think, Packers fans, based on the results of the game, the big plays he made. He picked his spots like he always did. He picked his spots, and some plays he won, but sometimes they just didn't even block him. So, I mean, granted, yes, you still got to make the tackle or hit Aaron Rodgers or do whatever. But whatever. It's when they don't even block you, it's not that hard. And when they don't even cover you, it's not that hard. So just saying.
Yeah.
That's kind of the gig. If people don't block you, it's pretty easy to make big plays. And if people don't cover you, it's pretty easy to make big plays. Now, what Ben is showing these plays show us, and the tape doesn't lie, is that the defense had a lot of miscommunications, a lot of mistakes, just like their coach said. Matt LaFleur called them out and said it. He said it. And, it was probably a lot of guys. But let's look at more plays here. We'll get through it.
Okay,
we'll get through it together.
I have one more offensive or Packers defensive play to show, but I'm going to show it after some other plays later. So this is a example of, I don't know if it was Zero or somebody you mentioned earlier, but it'd be nice if we ran some plays where guys were getting schemed open and whatever. So I have two plays here back to back. One of them,
quickly before that, Brandy has a good comment.
Okay.
Secondary played together last year. That's what makes her mad or pisses her off, which is we can say.
Well, Jair wasn't there last year.
Jair was not there. Douglas is playing a different spot. And Jair and Douglas did not play together much, so I don't know. But the Amos not knowing what he's doing, that's inexcusable. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's weird.
Anyway, continue on.
All right, you see my screen here?
Yep, we got you.
Okay, so this is an example of an Aaron Rodgers play. I don't know if it is for sure. I'm just being a jerk, but a lot of times when you watch 2-minute offense, you see a lot of this sort of thing. One guy in the flat over here, another guy in the flat over here. Okay, so you got crossing, like a fake handoff to Aaron Jones. He goes in the flat. A.J. Dillon just runs back behind here, goes in a flat. So, and nobody goes with him. So you're looking at this. This looks like zone coverage. Okay. And then here you've got, on the bottom of the screen, just run straight. Top of the screen, Watkins, just run straight. And you're going to watch Peterson. He goes as fast as he can because he does not want to lose him. And then you got Tunyon over here across the middle. He gets double teamed from Harrison Smith and Eric Kendricks, who backs up, and they cover them both right here. So not open, and not open, and then flat and flat. Okay? No routes that work together. Not a single one of these routes helps another route get open.
And they're all basically at the same depth. So nobody attacking the middle there. Nobody occupying the linebackers.
And this is first down. Okay? Nobody is even in the middle of the field at all. Nobody attacks anything. So when you watch this happen, here's what Rodgers is looking at. And you look up here, guess what? Royce is getting beat already because he's going against Danielle Hunter. I mean, you can't expect Royce to block Danielle Hunter, right?
And Royce, I think, did pretty well for himself. I mean, as far as his standards, he was better than I expected in this game.
But before the play, it looked like it was zone, right? Because A.J. Dillon moved in motion and nobody went with him.
Yeah.
But guess what? It's man. Here's man. Here's man.
Oh, my God. Look at that. Safety is so deep and not doing anything.
That's because it's man, and he's worried about getting deep. And look at what side he's on. He ain't worried about Sammy Watkins. He's worried about Christian Watson. He's over here. And then Harrison Smith is in the middle, helping out with Tunyon on Kendricks, and that's like a double team. But he's kind of like a robber in the middle of the field. But this is man. Rodgers thought it was zone. And then when he realizes it's man, now he's going to have to dump it off or get sacked or something bad happens, right?
No in-cutting patterns. Nobody attacking the middle.
Can you imagine if Aaron Jones did like a sneak attack or
just like a slant
or AJ Dillon? Yeah, like AJ Dillon went in motion like this and then came back over here.
Yeah.
As Aaron Jones is coming out, he'd be wide open right here. This would be a huge play. But none of these routes work together. It's dumb. Okay? Stupid, sack. Stupid sack. That's all it is. And this is just Royce getting beat. It's not his fault. It's Danielle Hunter. He's fast, and there's enough time that he should get the ball out, but no one's open. And Rodgers is looking at Sammy Watkins or Tunyon or something. I don't know what he's looking at there. Now, this play, the exact opposite. This is a Matt LaFleur call, I think. On 2nd and 10. This is a beautiful play. All right, first things first. The front side, which is the top of the screen, is where they want to attack. If you look up here, I got circled in purple is the free safety of the Vikings. Not Harrison Smith, the other guy. I can't remember what his name is, but he's back here, okay? You got Peterson here. I don't know who this guy is. Doesn't matter. What you're going to see is Randall Cobb takes this up the seam, and then he's going to kind of attack over deep on this side. Here you got Romeo Doubs, who's going to go up like this and attack here. This puts a quandary on this poor safety, who's back here alone. Which guy am I going to go and cover? Well, he's going to take the deep because he can't give a touchdown, right? And then here, you got Aaron Jones on an inside slant where Peterson has to cover him. And this guy's playing I don't know what he's doing, but he doesn't worry about it. He doesn't go with Dobbs to the corner. And that's here you got route, puts pressure on this guy. If for some reason they're playing a zone, you got Aaron Jones gets the clear out from both of these routes to have Aaron Jones wide open on a slant, right? So you have option based on what you're looking at. If it's man coverage, you'd go to one of these two guys. If it's a zone, you go to the slant, Aaron Jones, you're good. Also, on the backside, just in case something happens, you also have here, this receiver is going to take Harrison Smith out of this so that Aaron Jones could possibly get the ball here and open this up for him. Or at this point where Randall Cobb is coming way up here, there's a hole here because they're pulling guys with it, right? Maybe the linebacker sticks with Cobb and has to follow up this way. That leaves a hole here for this receiver. So that's your 4. So what you're reading is 1, 2, 3, and then 4 in the flat. Randall Cobb is pretty much just, if the cover gets dropped, then you throw it to him. Otherwise, he's more just a clear out guy in this route. And then Tunyon's going to sneak out, and he's open, if possible, too. But look at all these route combinations that work together, attack different parts of the field, and give you options as Aaron Rodgers to go where you want to go based on what the defense does. As we move forward, here you go. Look at this. Aaron Jones on the slant. Peterson goes with him. Kendricks goes with him. This guy goes with him. Aaron Jones covers 3 guys because they've thrown so many times to the backs in this game. All 3 of these defenders are going after Aaron Jones.
Before you advance, I want to say one observation.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that last play you showed was guys spread out at the start, and they basically ran in the same line where they lined up. Right? So you had space, using space of the field, but all to the outsides and all downfield, and nobody kind of stressing one part of the field. Here, look at where everybody is after just that, before Rodgers even hits his back foot. You've got all these guys clustered at the top, but they're all going in different directions, and they're attacking, like you said, and they're attacking the defensive players, what their responsibilities are, and how they're going to adjust to all these guys in that same area at once. That is has a lot more high probability of success than just winning your one-on-one matchups, Mike McCarthy style. The
other thing I will say is, if you give credit to Rodgers, he may be looking over here at Aaron Jones, which would suck in these 2 defensive players to try to make a tackle here because it's happened so much. So maybe Rodgers with his eyes is moving these 2 defenders to Aaron Jones, which also opens up the pass back here. I don't know. But whatever happened was awesome because these guys all converge on Aaron Jones. And as we move it forward, you're going to see the ball's gone right now. We got 2 receivers. Only this poor guy over here who's got to cover them both. And, of course, the ball gets thrown. He catches it about here. It's not the best pass in the world because he's got to adjust to it, wait for it, and then first get going. Can you imagine if he didn't have to wait for it? Maybe that would and caught it in stride, or he'd have to turn around all weird. But either way, the difference in those last 2 plays, I just wanted to show because it's like night and day difference. One is, hey, everybody just run and hopefully you get open. The other one is, hey, everybody, we're going to make plays. We're going to do things that make sense and work together, and the route combinations work together to get things open. And that's a good pass, to the flat over to Dobbs. And I'm just running the play now. I didn't really, do any diagrams on any of these, but because I just thought it was cool, those 2 plays in a row where one was just stupid. I mean, it doesn't work. And then the next play was gorgeous. Beautiful play concept, working together. Oh, yeah, this is that play-action play where Eric Kendricks...
Hold on.
Yeah,
especially
ahead,
that first play you showed, especially having just, all the guys run way downfield and then have both backs go to opposite flats. Like
Stupid.
you're spreading all your guys out too far. You're not attacking anything. The defense doesn't have to change what they're doing whatsoever. They have to make 0 adjustments. They're just like, oh, you're just in my area. You're creating no mental stress, no physical stress, but no mental strain on them either. How do big plays happen a lot? We watched the Packers give up big plays because they were confused, because they didn't stick with their responsibilities, or somebody moved and they got screwed up and we're like, oh crap, I screwed up. Other teams will screw up if you make them stressed, or you test their defensive responsibilities and principles. But you have to test them. If you just run straight, you're not testing them.
Yeah. And you look here. This is the play action play. I'll show this from the back end. You'll see what happened here. This is a big mess. But as soon as Rodgers turns around, Eric Hendricks is in his face. And I'm sure what he's looking at is, oh, my God. Now, the bad news is, look at this. Sammy Watkins is wide open. Had they just chipped Eric Hendricks for a second, this would be a huge play to Sammy Watkins right here. And unfortunately, nobody picked him up. He came straight through. Nobody blocked him. And Aaron Rodgers can't do anything there. He's just trying to save his life, right? And that's why when people have said that maybe Yash had a good game, maybe not. I don't know.
No,
this is
Yash was disappointing.
Look at that. Look what he's doing. He's already looking here. And Kendricks is running this way, but he's going to take a beeline right to, because he reads it. It's play action, and he knows it's a fake right away.
Okay, hold on. Before you go do anything else, let's take a look. How many guys are in to protect on this?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Randall Cobb is protecting, sort of.
8, and they have a free runner?
Yeah.
Like,
because Yash, I don't know what Yash is doing.
Because they were doing the flow to make it look like a run, but the flow, flowing to the right. Well, sometimes flowing to the right means you make dumb mistakes and let a guy run. Oh, God. I hate the flow to the right.
But look at how open that it would have been.
Yeah.
And as soon as Rodgers turns around, he's like, oh, crap. I mean, he's got nothing. He probably didn't even see Sammy Watkins open because as soon as he turned around, Eric Hendricks is there.
I mean,
I don't blame Rodgers on this. I blame right here. This is the problem. Yash cannot do that. You have to know your surroundings. If you know this is a play-action play, okay, maybe you're supposed to sell that it's a run, but you cannot let the linebacker go free inside and mess the whole play up. You can't.
Yeah, there's rules on that, 100%.
And just watch it again, and it makes you sad because you know this was going to be a huge play. Look at Yash. Like, what's he doing?
I don't know.
You know who would make this mistake? Lukey. I mean, look, he's running right past you. What are you looking at?
Yeah.
You can't feel the fact that did you not notice there's a linebacker in the second level right lined up in front of where you are? Like, how does he not know? And the next play, you're in trouble.
Had a disappointing game. They didn't handle that stunt well on the left side there. I mean, the offensive line, look, we talked about it. What did we talk about when everybody was freaking about the receivers? We talked about how the offensive line was the biggest concern, and it still is.
And on this play, nobody got open, and there's a delayed blitz by the secondary, or maybe it was an outside linebacker, and he got there, and Rodgers still made the guy miss. He made a good play.
Yeah, he was running around a lot. Now, sometimes too much, and he held the ball too long and then got green, but he had to run around a lot. And I heard Matt LaFleur say that the offensive line was pretty inconsistent, and then he said, I think Josh Myers had a pretty solid game, which was a lie. Josh Myers did not have a solid game. He was not good. He continues to struggle with blocking in space and using awareness. Like, he's a big physical dude, but he doesn't have the awareness and reaction. And basically, it's an awareness thing for the most part. And he struggles with dudes in space. On top of that, everybody had a rough day. They're all inconsistent. Yash, we thought Yash would be better. He was not better. He was not good. Royce was Royce. Jake Hansen is a 6th-round pick from last year who was a center, is now playing right guard, is not really big enough and not that good. And Runyon was not great and then got hurt. And then Zach Tom came in, and Aaron Rodgers says he's too small and needs to put on weight and get bigger or something like that. But, whatever. The offensive line is a mess. It's a mess. And I know you don't want me to talk about Lucas Patrick, but Lucas Patrick covered up some the ills last year. He made it look better than it should have been. He's not there to cover your ass anymore. And you got too many holes. Your tackles, the guys that were supposed to be back, well, one of them was a tackle. The other one was a guard who should be playing guard. But you're going to say he's a tackle because you don't have any other tackles because you didn't address the tackle situation. Right? Is that do we put that on the front office?
Yes.
Should we have drafted an offensive lineman early? Should we have... I'm going to say this. Here, make myself big, and then you can go back to more videos. If the Packers had drafted the offensive lineman I told them to draft in the first round the last 2 years, we would not have this mess. We would not have this problem. But we do. So let's go back to more videos.
All right, so this is something that's interesting because it's a positive play, but I just wanted to show the difference between...
Hang on, it didn't pop up yet. Let me see what's going on here. Why is it not popping? Oh, there it is. Okay, we're good.
I want to show the difference between making an aggressive pass.
We'll get to Chicago in a bit, I guess. Sure, hang on.
I guess we're not getting there for a while. God dang it. I looked at all these plays, and I'm freaking playing them. So, I don't care about Chicago right now. They should beat them. Whatever. I'm talking about Rodgers and how he's playing like crap.
I like Brandy's comment here.
I don't see it, so I don't see it.
It says, why not use DeGuara or a running back in pass pro might help. And especially as a late leaker. Remember, I've talked about late leakers in the past. Late leaker's a great thing.
You don't want a late leaker.
Early leaker to the flat is not that helpful because everybody knows they're there and they're just waiting for them when you throw it out there late. But if a late leaker, that's genius. Late leaker is genius football. Anyway, continue on.
All right, so what we're looking here is play action pass. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It sucks in a couple of guys. It sucks in the inside, the linebackers, right? And this defensive lineman is going back into coverage. Rodgers is looking. Based on what's going on here, you got Peterson and Smith.
Watson's winning already.
Now just wait. Now look at it. He now is looking at it the whole play. Just so you know what's going to happen on this play, it's a comeback route.
Is it really? I was just going to say, I saw some of those this week and for different teams, and they worked. Where guys just stopped and turned around or came back.
Yep.
It's like genius.
And I want to show you this because take a look at down here at AJ. Or that's not. Here's AJ Dillon here. And DeGuara's here, but there's three guys and one DeGuara to block, and then AJ Dillon down here. Up here is Sammy Watkins. All he's got in front of him is Harrison Smith.
Or Christian Watson, right?
Christian Watson.
Sammy Watkins on the other side.
Yeah. All right. I had slow motion. It'll catch up. Boom.
Oh.
Look at this.
Rifle.
Now this guy could come here.
Not if you throw it on time. He's not going to get
And Smith is almost falling over because of Christian Watson turning around so fast. Now, this ball should have been thrown earlier.
Yep,
so that right about now the ball is right about here, and then Watson can catch it.
Yep.
Turn around, make a guy miss, get in the end zone. Instead, Rodgers is throwing it over here to A.J. Dillon, who's got a guy on him. Now, it's A.J. Dillon. He breaks a tackle and gets the first down. So it's a positive play. But the reason why I'm showing it is because look at this. This is where the ball should have gone. Based on the coverage, based on the play action pass, based on everything involved, this is where the ball should have gone to a wide open Christian Watson. Instead, it goes to A.J. Dillon, who, gets past a guy, breaks a tackle almost, and falls forward, and gets the first down. So you would say, Ben, what are you complaining about? We got a first down. That's not the point. The point is Rodgers looks right at it, sits on his back foot once, sits on his back foot twice, and gets off it and throws over to the sideline instead of throwing to a wide open Christian Watson. So what do you tell this young player who just ran a great route, made Harrison Smith almost fall over behind him because he cut so quick and went down and everything? What are you going to do? What do you tell Christian Watson? Do you want to make a play? Run a great route and get open. Okay, but I'm going to dump it off to A.J. Dillon even though he was covered.
Did you happen to see anyone watch Thursday Night Football last night? Did anyone watch some of the windows that Justin Herbert was thrown into? I mean, that right there was a big-ass window for Aaron Rodgers to get a big play. And if he throws it with anticipation before Watson turns around, it's not even there's nobody even getting close to that. The backer's not going to come close to touching that pass if he throws it on time. But he hit his back foot, should have let it go to Watson, did not, took a second beat, and then threw it out late to the flat. It's plays and yards are left on the field because of the way Aaron Rodgers wants to ensure that he's not going to throw an interception. And Chris Sims talked about it this week again. You've talked about it for 2 years. We've shown people plays on our show. I don't know how many more times people got to see it to start waking up about it, but there's another example. Brandy thinks it's because Watson dropped the ball. Now, there's probably some of that too.
That is probably the reason.
Probably some of that too. But it's not just him. It's a trend. Rodgers has done this. He will take the safe throw over the throw that's a little more, something could happen. Oh my gosh, what if it deflects off the guy's hands and the guy behind him picks it off? He will say, well, if I throw it over here to the flat, if it deflects off the guy's hands, it just goes out of bounds. So let me do that. That equals no interception. David was talking about a play too. He's talking about that same play. Okay. You got any more? Or we gonna talk
let's go.
Bears? All right.
Nope.
Do more.
Plays. I love plays.
All right. More play breakdown. Game review.
Here we go. Boom. We're going to watch this play.
Okay.
You're going to see.
You didn't share it yet.
Oh, I didn't share it yet? Are you sure about that?
Well, I don't see it.
You're right. I didn't share it. You're right. I didn't share it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
3 more
You
years
can
of
give people
A-Rod. No, 0. Nobody
Zero.
wants that 0.
3 more years of A-Rod being patient. We must be patient with Aaron.
Yeah.
No.
All right, you ready? You're going to see here Aaron Jones coming in motion behind Rodgers, which is going to pull Eric Kendricks out of here. Randall Cobb does a quick turnaround. That's where the ball should go. Rodgers doesn't throw it. Don't know why. We'll find out. So he looked at Aaron Jones
He's
first.
open. He's open right now.
He looked at Aaron Jones first, and he didn't even look for Randall Cobb. But he's open. This is a wide open play. You throw it right here. He's taking it up the field 20 yards or more.
One quick question.
Yep.
Look at Aaron Rodgers' feet. Is he ready to throw anywhere
No.
right now? What? Who tells you to get into that position as a quarterback? Like, you're not ready to throw anywhere. Now your feet are ready to throw. And you still should throw it to Randall Cobb right
He's
now.
still
Let's
open.
go.
He's still open for a 5-6 yard gain here.
Throw it to him.
Now this defender is here, so maybe he's worried about him tipping it because it's a pretty short throw, right? Like there probably isn't a passing lane here. Like this guy is in the way. I get that.
Right. And Randall Cobb is short. That
and
doesn't
also
help.
look at Myers. Who's he blocking, by the way, on this pass play? I don't quite know who he's blocking because he's out here and there's nobody here, and I don't know why he's downfield.
Josh Myers.
Like what's he doing?
Part of the issue there.
Is he
part
doing
of the
a
issue
running
there,
play?
Ben? No, but I don't know what he's doing. But part of the issue there is John Runyon has to stay engaged. You can't let the guy get that far off you, so you can keep his hands down. Like
let's watch it. Let's watch it again, and I think you'll see why this didn't happen.
Were they going? Did Josh Myers think there was a screen over there?
It is a screen.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a screen to Tunyon, but these guys are
Randall
so
Cobb is
bad.
open.
They're so bad at screens, and Tunyon is the last guy you should be doing a screen for.
That's true. Very true.
I mean, Aaron Jones, fine, but not Robert Tunyon. This ball should have gone here, period. But as you watch, yes, this is supposed to be a screen, but Tunyon gets chipped by this guy, and he's all messed up. Nobody blocks for him. So when Rodgers does come back to do it, you're going to see a big mess.
Royce runs right in front of him between Tunyon
and there's 2 defenders here. Like, how is Rodgers going to get this to Tunyon when there's two Vikings here?
Why are the
and then
Packers?
There's 3 offensive linemen who don't block anybody. It's a terrible play.
I want to understand why the Packers are so terrible at running screens.
I don't know, but
they used to, like, under the old systems, they used to be a very good screen running team. Even with McCarthy, they were a pretty good screen team.
Yeah.
For the most part, until the late years. I mean, James Starks was very productive with screen passes, right? Other guys. But this team cannot run screens. They don't know what the linemen are in the wrong spot. They're running the screen to the wrong guy. Like we said it before, Robert Tunyon flying up the field, great. Robert Tunyon, it takes him a little while to get going. So him with agility and quick start, he doesn't have quickness. Like for screens to be successful, you need a guy that's shifty and can start quick. Robert Tunyon is neither of those things. So I don't get it. DeGuara in that spot, sure. We saw him take a screen last year for a huge play. against Detroit. Like, I like DeGuara in the screen. If you're going to run a tight end screen, give it to DeGuara.
Yeah, he's better with the ball after the catch than Tunyon. Tunyon's great before the catch, and then he catches it, and then he falls over. So, you got my screen on here?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, this is just a play, Aaron Jones run, but I want to show it because just watch Josh Myers. That's all I want you to watch.
Oh, boy.
Just watch Josh Myers.
I don't
This
want
guy
to
blocks,
watch it.
this guy blocks, this guy blocks, this guy blocks. Just watch what Josh Myers.
I don't want to watch
Don't
it.
watch anything but Josh Myers on this play. But he was the highest rated offensive lineman in the game. Now, he did go up to Harrison Smith. So, I mean, if the play
I'm
for
sorry,
somehow would
microphone.
actually would be going, downfield, obviously it would have been something. Okay, so here's the other next thing I was showing.
Jesus, Josh Myers.
This play, let's take a look at our routes, everybody. What do you see? Run straight, run straight, run straight. And the ball and the pressure is coming a little bit. He probably should get the ball out now, right here, to our guy Big Nose. He probably isn't going to get a first down, but if you look here, Peterson is not letting Watson get past him anymore. He's just running deep with him every time, and he's beating him up. Down here, we got to come back around with Dobbs. So this ball could be thrown right now to him, but it's kind of risky. I don't know if I'd like that. Randall Cobb is running right into the middle of the defense. There's no way he's going to get open. Your only option right now is right here. And he doesn't throw it. I don't know why. He's throwing it over to Dobbs on the comeback when the guy was clearly right behind him. Now, I like the fact that he's aggressive, though. At least he was aggressive on this play. Or no, maybe that was the one he threw away. That might have been remember where he said he threw the ball away?
Yep, that was
That
when
actually,
he threw away. Yeah.
That's right. So he didn't even try to complete that pass. When he could have obviously dumped it off in the flat. But I don't know.
I got to switch us so we're on the right side. You're under you, and I'm under me.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know either. It's weird, dude. It's perplexing. Clearly, the Packers were outcoached in this game, 100%. I said it right after the game, that they were clearly outcoached. No doubt.
Yeah.
But one team is like, knows what they're doing. It looks like one team knows what they're doing and the other one doesn't, even though they both didn't play starters all preseason and both had 2 weeks to prepare for this game.
Yeah.
Weather conditions weren't a problem. We didn't hear anything about any wind this time. I don't know what to say.
I know you're getting sick of me showing videos. I got to show at least 2 more.
I'm not sick of you, but other people might be. But
Hey, nobody should be sick of me showing
they're
videos.
hanging in there.
It's
Ekes
my
was sick of you,
favorite
but-
thing in the world. I don't care.
Ekes was sick of you, but that's fine. He'll come
Kiss
back.
my butt, Ekes.
Whoa, tripping out.
Oh, you got that on there? Okay, here you go.
There we go.
You got me on? You got me on?
Yeah, you're on.
Now, I did this on Tuesday night at about midnight.
Rick
Okay.
says, sort of like watching the old Raiders offense. Go deep, baby. Didn't work great then
Yeah.
either. At least they had some fleet of fast guys. Oh, a fleet of fast guys. Yes, correct. David
Now-
likes to play breakdown. Thank you, David.
Okay, thank you, David. I appreciate that. Now, Chris Sims did his own play breakdown of this exact play just the other day, like yesterday. Now, I did it 2 days earlier, so I want people to know I saw it first. But I'm going to show this play, and then right after this, I'm going to show a Kirk Cousins play and show you the difference between a quarterback with a good arm who's not a good quarterback and a quarterback with an okay arm who is a good quarterback. Oh, snap. Did I just say that? Yes, I did. Let's watch this play. Now, this is a good play. This is a Matt LaFleur play, I can tell. Because you got to clear out by Tunyon. Down here with Watson, you got to out and back in again. And you got to out over here with Sammy Watkins. I don't know what Cobb or Aaron Jones, I think, is up here. I don't know what he's doing. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. And then A.J. Dillon's coming in the flat, which is going to pull this linebacker over there with him, which means this right here, this play is open. Okay? So you're going to watch it happen. Okay. Right now, I want you to look at this. Tunyon is clearing out. Watkins or Christian Watson down here is going to be open too. And because Dillon's moving here, this linebacker's coming with him. This guy is playing a short zone, but there's no way he could react. If Rodgers throws this ball right now, which he should, to right here, that's the open spot. And Watkins will be there. in no time if he throws it right now. That's a anticipation throw. You've heard me talk about this many times. Aaron Rodgers does not do anticipation throws. He'll wait until the guy is about here and he's past this linebacker, then he'll throw it. But he should throw it right now. This is when he needs to throw it, to this spot right here that I'm circling with my cursor. Okay? But he doesn't. He doesn't throw it at all. And he's already off of it. He's already off that. Look at where he's looking now. He's already looking to A.J. Dillon, who has a guy right here who's going to come and smack him. I could see maybe if he go to Christian Watson, because this guy's on his heels, Watson's going to just turn around and be right here. But he won't go there. He goes to A.J. Dillon, check down Charlie. Now I'm just showing. This is where the ball should be. Like, he can even throw it now. But instead, check down Charlie, incomplete pass, because Kendricks is really good. And when you watch it from this angle, it's even more egregious.
There's plenty of room there to just throw that.
Like, don't throw it now.
No.
Now. He's already off of it. He's already off of it.
Protection's good. Like, why?
Yep. His eyes are already gone, even though this guy is not moving anywhere. Now, maybe he thinks he's going to go with him. But if he stays with him, he would know. Just throw it here. There's no way this guy's going to get there. But
but if he didn't catch it clean, that safety could pick it off behind him.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
You know what someone once said? Someone once said, I see what's going on here.
Oh, yeah. Is that it, Dad? Did the Penguin tell you to do it? And here's another one. Robert Tonyan clear out. Or no, Christian Watson clear out. Robert Tonyan here. Randall Cobb underneath. This is where the ball should go. Aaron Jones comes out this way, sucks the defense with him. The ball should go here. Now, I think this is a bad pass protection, and that's why it didn't work, if I remember correctly. But look how this is.
Yeah, right guard's getting his ass kicked right away.
Oh, yeah, this is Hansen just gets blown up by Z. So, but think if he didn't get blown up by Z. This is perfect. Like, there's no way they're going to be able to cover Randall Cobb here. So you're either going to have Cobb open here or Aaron Jones open here. And it'd be better if it was Cobb, because look at all this open space.
Yeah.
But, look at that. But at this point, look. Yash is getting beat around the edge. And Hansen's getting beat.
Step up.
Rodgers is already surrounded.
Here's another question. Sorry, and this goes back to Myers in the game. I don't know how many times in those scenarios
he helps Runyon.
So he helps Runyon. He shades to his left. What the hell? Why? Jake Hansen, this is his first goddamn NFL start. He was a 6th-round pick. Shouldn't even have been starting. Wasn't expected to be starting. John Runyon played a bunch of games last year. I'm sorry. Why are you shading to his side?
You know what? Look at this. Are you looking at this?
And even
right
on this one, look, there's three guys on that side.
No. Look at this. Look at this. Are you looking?
Oh,
watch. Look at where Royce is. Royce is on the outside guy.
It must be the way they train him. Put your arms out. This blocks people. Arms will block people.
He's
a bunch of.
Myers is supposed to be blocking this guy, but he fakes it and comes back, and I think that's what messes him up.
I don't care. Adjust. Get your freaking awareness level. His awareness rating in Madden should be a 2. It's terrible.
And here's the other thing. Based on this, can he not feel that this guy is getting creamed? Just dump it right here. Throw it over right in the spot. Aaron Jones will catch it. Or dump it over here. Just throw it up. Phillip Rivers made a career of just lobbing balls because he had no arm, right? He'd just throw to where he knew the open hole was, and his guy would get there and make the catch. Rodgers will not throw a blind throw. He won't do it. And now he's surrounded. There's nothing he can do. And I don't really blame Rodgers on that. I mean, look at that. Yash and Hansen just got destroyed on the play. And look at Royce. He's doing pretty good. Now he's probably doing blocking a linebacker or a safety or something on blitz, but I don't know. It's kind of scary because you see this stuff and you're like, what's going on? There's a lot of plays in the game like that where like the play is there. Make the throw. And that's what Chris Sims is talking about. Mm-hmm. And it's really sad because I'm going to show you something right now, one more at least. And this is the play that blew my mind when I watched it.
Okay.
This play blew my mind.
I'm going to tell you, I noticed that in game, Josh Myers helping Runyon, shading to Runyon a handful of times. I was like, why? I don't understand it. You have just going into the game. This guy started a whole bunch on my left. This guy's never started before and couldn't even make the team last year, and I'm going to shade left? What? Come on, dude. Josh Myers, I don't get it. He's got to be better. He's a second-round pick. He's got to be better.
Well,
O-line stuff pisses me off so much. And especially because people don't, they undervalue certain people and whatever. Continue on. What do you got here?
This is a Packers defense.
Butter likes your telestrator work here.
Thank you, Butter. I appreciate it. I work hard on it, and I like watching film because I'm a nerd. So on this play, we talked about, actually, Jerry Montgomery talked about this play, and I think Matt LaFleur talked about it because they were talking about Justin Fields, and they're like, yeah, well, we had one play. Jerry Montgomery talked about, he's like, yeah, we had one play where our guys didn't keep their gap discipline, and Cousins stepped up and made a great play, and he does. And this is the big, huge pass to Justin Jefferson, who didn't do anything on this. Well, he kind of did something, but not really. It's mostly Kirk Cousins. And and the reason why I'm showing it after I just showed you the Aaron Rodgers where he didn't throw it to the open spot, even though the window wasn't there, right? You're going to see here why that makes a big difference and how Kirk Cousins made this play. So as you're going to watch here, you're going to see all the yellow lines. That's all the Packers defenders. They all do outside pass rushes. Kenny Clark does a spin. Dean Lowry's getting double teamed. Triple teamed, actually, which is weird. But look at that. Kenny Clark, what are you doing? The great Kenny Clark, one-on-one. Look at this big, giant, gaping hole for Kirk Cousins to step up into.
He went with the swim move one too many times.
And then here you go. Look at this. Cousins is already throwing it now. Cousins is throwing the ball now.
A bunch of these throws, look at where he's throwing the ball versus where the receivers
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you look here, the pink, that's Justin Jefferson. There is Amos is here. And Savage is back here somewhere. And Cousins is going to throw it here. Right now. Rodgers would never in a million years do this. Never. And you're going to see him better from the back angle. And Jefferson actually slows down because he sees Amos is there. And then he has to speed up to catch the ball. And then, of course, you got this. And it's just, I don't know what, it's just sad and pathetic. But watch it from this angle. You're going to see some insane Kirk Cousins decision making.
Pause it real quick. So he's got a little pressure from Preston there, but he's got room to step up.
But there's no need to.
Also, Jonathan Garvin's in on this play. Why is Jonathan Garvin Rashawn Gary is 20-something years old, and he needs to earn a big fat contract. Get his ass on the field. He should play 80% of the snaps. I don't want Jonathan Garvin out there this is obviously early in the drive. They're at the 20-yard line. What does Rashawn Gary need? Rest? Screw that. Get his ass on the field. Dumb.
Whoa.
I don't know who runs these substitutions. I'm just tired of it. Doesn't make sense. I love this anticipation. Look at Kirk Cousins.
Look at he's already winding up to throw this ball. And look where Amos is. And it's all because he's looking at Amos and he's like, Amos is never going to be able to turn around and make this play. No way. And Savage is over here. Jefferson is here. He's not even looking at Jefferson. You know why? Because he knows where Jefferson is and he knows what route Jefferson's running. He's throwing to the open hole that he knows Jefferson can get to, and based on what the defense is doing. Aaron Rodgers doesn't do that. Maybe he used to, but he won't do it anymore. This ball is being thrown now, where your receiver is here, and he's throwing it here. Actually, he's throwing it to the 20-yard line, so it's 30 yards past this, actually, which is crazy. But he's throwing it up so that his receiver can catch it. And after this, I want you to watch Jefferson. He's slowing down a little bit, and all of a sudden he's got to pick up the pace to get there. But Cousins is trusting that he's going to do that. The other thing, real quick, we're going to go back a little bit, and I want you to watch Savage just get turned around to Sunday 3 times a Sunday. It's just terrible. So look up here, Savage.
You didn't even show all the ugly Eric Stokes plays, which is good. We don't need to.
Well, yeah, but those weren't big, deep, terrible plays. They were just short, stupid plays. But watch, he gets. I don't know if Jefferson does the out move or if he just turns around because he's dumb. I don't know. It doesn't make it. I don't know which one it is. Okay, look at that. That was a play action play. Oh my God, that even makes me more mad. All right, we're gonna go back and watch that too. I'm sorry, this is the last video. We're not gonna watch any more after this, but watch Kirk Cousins in his play action. He goes to the wrong side. Delvin Cook goes to his right, and he goes to the left, and he still does the fake play action. There's nobody there. Like, what is that? And nobody bites on a play action, obviously, because there wasn't anybody. Like, something wrong happened here.
Must be the power of the Favre jersey. Favre wore that jersey once. Just remember that.
Yeah, I
Favre
know.
once wore that jersey.
But look up here. Watch Savage. And watch what happens to him. Oh, okay. So Jefferson did do a double move there. Or a quick out, and then Savage got turned around. He was straight in line with him, and now he's looking this way. And the ball's in the air. Perfect pass.
Well, and that guy over the middle
Look
is
at
open, too, if you want to throw it.
Yeah, but this ain't going to be a freaking 70-yard pass or whatever the hell that was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the difference, folks. That's the difference between Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is a guy who plays quarterback from the pocket. He anticipates throws. He reads what the defenders are doing because he knows what the offensive players are going to do. Now, you could say,
running the play.
right, and you could say, well, Rodgers doesn't have trust in his guys to be in the right place. Well, you know what? He would have trust to be in the right place if he was there all offseason working with them. I can tell you that. And if they ran the play call of the offense instead of the Aaron Rodgers offense and the Matt LaFleur offense, and you got to know this and this and this, and guess what? In the Matt LaFleur or in the Aaron Rodgers offense, he has to wait and see what they're going to do and then throw it. Where in the Matt LaFleur offense, you have pass patterns that work together. You have guys that will get each other open because of routes that work together to make things happen. And I just showed you all that today in one game. We saw stupid plays that don't work. We saw good plays that do work. We saw Kirk Cousins anticipate throws. We saw Kirk Cousins read the defense. We saw Kirk Cousins take advantage of stupid idiots, crossing patterns, all kinds of cool stuff on the Vikings. And then the Packers run straight, go on the flat. Run straight, go on the flat. And then once in a while, they have a good play call. And guess what? It works. Oh, my God. So what's the problem? Why do people not ask LaFleur and be like, dude, when you watch the film back and you watch these plays that Aaron Rodgers says are the Aaron Rodgers offense and they don't work and the drives stall. And how many times have we heard that over the last 2 years? Why do all the drives stall? I don't know. But in 2019, we had one of the best offenses in the league. Aaron Jones had 1 touchdowns that year. They were unstoppable. And then that offseason, Aaron Rodgers got with Matt LaFleur and said, hey, I don't like being a game manager. And I have, I'm going to get the clip on that. He said it in a comment. And I'm going to find it for next week. And I'm going to play it. And you're going to hear him say, I got with Matt LaFleur. I wanted to change the offense because I didn't want to be as much of a game manager. Well, you know who's happy being a game manager? Kirk Cousins. And he just was a game manager on Sunday. And he managed the Vikings to a huge win. So I'd rather take a guy who's going to manage a huge win than a guy who wants to be a superhero and can't do it anymore. That's the other thing. How does Rodgers never get away anymore? He never gets away from sacks. He just gets sacked. He gets sacked all the time. Kirk Cousins at least threw the ball away when a guy was in his face. There's a couple times where Preston and Gary and Clark got close to him and he threw it away. Rodgers takes a sack.
He took some hits. He took some pretty good hits in this game. And I don't know, dude. I don't know. Tape don't lie.
It doesn't lie.
We don't lie. Yet there's still people trying to justify and think about other reasons and this and that. I just want to know this. I would love to get Matt LaFleur drunk. And get I just ask him, like, how do you feel, man? Like, what is this really like for you? Because this was, no one else was considering him as a head coach, right?
No.
And people were like, well, maybe Matt LaFleur, when they're talking about Packer head coach and all these names and this and that, and Josh McDaniels, which was never going to happen. They would never be a fit for the Packers.
And Bruce Arians said, I would never coach
Arians,
that team. Or that
big asshole Bruce Arians.
He is a jerk, and I'm glad because I don't like him, but still.
But anyway, and so Matt LaFleur gets a head coaching job. And with a historic franchise, with a great fan base, history of winning. And he steps into this and he tries to bring a new offense. He brings the new offense. In the first year, the quarterback doesn't like the offense because it showcases the running backs and doesn't allow him to have a bunch of big key stats. And then he has to morph the offense and do more of what that quarterback wants to do. And then the quarterback wins 2 MVPs in a row. And now he's got all the power again.
That's right.
But I would love to get Matt LaFleur drunk to find out, how has this really been for you, man? Like, how do you deal with this shit? Sorry, but pardon my French, but like,
are you drunk? Are you drunk?
How does he make it work? I think Matt LaFleur has one of the hardest jobs in sports.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And then on top of it, you said, like, he watches his plays work, and then he watches them not win the ultimate goal or make the ultimate goal and get to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl because they're running too many of these plays that don't work.
And the difference is, the last 2 years, Rodgers had Devontae, and they had their connection and all that crap, so they could make things that were dumb work. And everybody says Devontae Adams is the greatest receiver of all time. No, he's not. Rodgers just threw the ball to him 1,000 times. Imagine if they just ran a good play and got him open instead of the Aaron Rodgers, here, throw it to Devontae all the time. It's just, Rodgers has the talent and the smarts to be great, and he proved it. And the bad part is, like you said, he won 2 MVPs in a row. So now no matter what you say as a fan, as a coach, as a player, as anything, it's not that he has all the power. It's that you can't say anything. As soon as you say something like I'm saying now, but it's weird because now Chris Sims is starting to say the stuff that I've been saying. And I've been saying this for 3 years. And no, everybody keeps telling me I'm a moron. Eckes tells me I'm a ding-dong. Bruce always told me I'm a moron. Everybody tells me I'm a moron. But I'm more vocal about it now because Chris Sims has finally come out and then talking about it because he's seeing it. And I've been seeing it for 3 years since I got the All-22. I didn't know this before that. I don't know how long this goes back. This definitely goes back to the McCarthy offense, for sure. This goes back to 18 when he was throwing the ball away all the time. I wonder how many guys were open and he just threw the ball away to try to get McCarthy fired. I don't know. That's probably blasphemous. I shouldn't say something like that. But Who knows? It could have happened.
I still don't think he was trying to get McCarthy fired. I just think he was trying to, protect.
Yeah, but he had Devontae in 2018.
Protect his legacy. Yeah, but the 2018 season, 26 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. That is the best quarterback or touchdown to interception ratio season on the history of all time. Even though he only had 26 touchdown passes that year, he only threw 2 picks. And everybody was like, only 2 interceptions. I mean, yeah, the touchdowns were down a little bit. Only 2 interceptions. A whole season, only 2 interceptions. Amazing. But what did Chris Sims talk about this week? And he's talked about it before. And he talked about Russell Wilson being the same kind of guy, being too safe, not making that throw in the middle, not attacking the defense because, oh no, if I throw it here, something bad could happen, but something great could happen. But if I throw it over here, it's safe. And yeah, it might not be great, but at least it's safe. And something, maybe the guy breaks a tackle and turns it into a big play. Great. But if he doesn't, it's just a safe play.
Yeah.
But what have we seen in the playoffs against good defenses? And Chris Sims said this too. And so we get to say it again because someone other than us is saying it. He said, he's like, I'm sure Aaron Rodgers is going to do all this stuff and have great stats and play against all the bad, the crappy defenses in the NFL. But when he plays the good defenses, what happens? What does it look like? It looks like 10 points, 9 drives in a row with no points. That's what it looks like. Matt LaFleur's offense maybe would be better. Let's give it a try, yo.
You know what I think happened? I'm going to be honest here.
Be honest. We're always honest.
God. I think that Goody and Mark Murphy, after the McCarthy season when he got fired, I think they looked at the whole Packer organization as a whole, and they looked at the way of the future of offenses, right? With the Kyle Shanahan system, the McVay system, and they realized, hey, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be here for that much longer, or maybe his play is declining. I mean, they had a terrible year. 26 touchdowns. That's like nothing for Aaron Rodgers. And they probably were like, you know what? I think we need to get a coach in here who can as Zero is saying, and David is LaFleur's offense is quarterback friendly, and he's right. I mean, Kirk Cousins looks great in it. Matt Ryan won an MVP with it. Matt Ryan, who sucks. Jimmy G looks great when he was running it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just have a guy who's fairly intelligent and has a halfway decent arm. You can win a bunch of games with it. And I think that's where they were going. And then they were like, hey, we're going to need a quarterback to run this system. And that's when they found Jordan Love. They wanted a guy who can run the system, have a great arm strength, be able to make plays, teach him the system, and be able to run the system, but also make plays when they're not there, all that kind of stuff. And I think they were planning on moving on after the first year, like 2020. I bet you they were thinking this is it, or after 1 year with Jordan, maybe 2021, like last year, like everybody thought, like Rodgers thought, everybody thought, and then Rodgers went and won the MVP, and I think Rodgers is right. Rodgers put a wrench in the whole plan. I think they had this plan since they hired LaFleur. Because why else would you get a system that anybody could run?
Right.
And Rodgers doesn't like that. He doesn't like it. You know what? I want you to take over the show for a little bit. I'm going to find that dang quote right now.
You're going to find it now?
I'm going to find it right now. It's not going to take that long.
Okay.
I need you to take over the show. Don't have me on the screen because I'm going to be looking like a ding dong looking for this thing. But people need to hear what he says. They need to hear what he says.
I agree.
So just keep talking. I don't know what you want to talk about. Go ahead and talk.
Well, I played the thing is I played the quotes today on the radio show that we did at 7:00. And it was Matt LaFleur talking about things, airing things publicly, and taking charge of the team. He called out the defensive mistakes. And I think put it on those defensive backs that let him down and didn't know what they were doing. He talked about the fact they didn't use, he said flat out, 23 touches for A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. That's not nearly enough. Those are two of our best players. We got to use them more. We have to use them more. And then he talked about, on top of that, he had conflicting statements. Well, the why follow-up never happened, which is where he said, we gotta run the ball more, right? And then Aaron Rodgers came out and said, we got to run it. Well, we got to run the ball more. Well, who didn't run the ball more? Were there not enough? The follow-up question should have been, were there not enough runs called? Or were there not enough running plays actually run? That would give you your answer about who didn't run the ball more, or who didn't run the ball enough, or why they didn't run the ball enough. And then lastly, Rodgers kept talking about the mistakes and why, the mental mistakes, the missed assignments, MAs. James Jones on Colin Cowherd talking about MAs and missed assignments. Now Aaron doesn't care about drops because he used to come back to me and I dropped plenty of balls. I don't know if James Jones said that exactly, but he should have said that. That is, I think, what he was getting at. But the point is that Aaron Rodgers keeps talking about that. Like that's the reason. And Matt LaFleur flat out said the young wide receivers did not make many errors, many mental mistakes. And they probably didn't make any of those mistakes based on Matt LaFleur's play calls. But based on all of Aaron Rodgers' adjustments, maybe they did. And it goes back to adjust to the young players around you. Run the offense. Run the plays. I know you like to play chess, but play some damn checkers for now. It might work better. So I think Ben's back with what he's got. We'll get to some comments here. Let's roll through some comments real quick. And then, did you find it?
Oh, I'm ready, but yeah.
Roll through some quick comments. Butter says you make sense. Butter's had enough to drink then, if he's saying that. Just kidding, Butter. Zero says the bitter pill to swallow is that there could be. And Zero was talking about the Lions before. I did not get did the Lions get screwed again? The NFL came out and said they missed some big call in the Lions game, and the Lions only lost by 3 points. Probably. Why do the freaking Lions always get screwed? Screw you, NFL. Stop screwing the Lions. God damn it.
Lions are
Sorry.
my favorite team now. Or, well, the second favorite team after the Pack.
How can you not like the Lions? How could anyone not like the Lions?
I don't know. I like them.
I like them too. All right, bitter pill swallows that there could be a chance we could never see LaFleur's offense. That's true. LaFleur could Rodgers could outlast LaFleur, but then Brandy says 13-3 every year. LaFleur gets fired. No, we don't count that first game, right, Brandy? That's the case. That's just a throwaway because that's going to be a dud when you don't play anything. We have 2 NFL started caliber running backs and we barely run it. Yes, 15 carries in a game where you had good. Average per run, like 0 cents. And the game was never way out of hand. Like, even when you were down by more than 2 scores, it's still, you got half a game to go. Run the ball. Let's see what else we got. Randy says run pass was about even last year. What changed? Well, I don't know. We have to check on that. If it was about even, the runs came. Well, actually, here's how some of the running came is the Packers had leads in a lot of games. And they wanted to milk some of those leads away. So they probably had a lot more fourth quarter runs than they did runs in any of the other quarters, would be my guess. But check me on the stats on that. And then Zero says we need to have split back plays. Yes, we've talked about that. Jones and Dillon, 28 and 33 on the field at the same time. And A-Rod is never going to stop throwing the rock the Rooks under the bus. Not just Rooks, but yeah. He did say something nice about Lucas Patrick this week, but
yes, he did.
But that's because it's well deserved and it's true. So if he said anything else, he would be a complete and utter moron. All right, what do you got?
All right, you ready?
I am ready.
So this guy here in this shirt is a Bears fan. You got it, Sharon? Tell me if you can get audio on here.
God damn, this is kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
Because to me, it's just like you go out there and you do.
You got audio? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
But I have some sort of echo, but I'm gonna mute myself. I think the rest of it is fine.
Okay.
Do what Coach says.
Yeah, I mean, if he's smart and he knows what he's talking about, then yeah, you do what he says.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the smartest in the game, but
That implies that you've maybe played for some coaches that weren't smart.
no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if the scheme is smart and makes sense, then yeah, you do it.
How much?
Sometimes in this scheme, and I tell Matt all the time, this scheme has flaws. I think this scheme is way different. I grew up in the West Coast offense. The West Coast offense, I think, is the most beautiful offense ever created. It's about timing and rhythm and balance, and everything makes sense protection-wise. You know where your hots are. You know where your eyes are going every single time. You know how the concepts fit together. This is a schematic offense. That was not a schematic offense. That was built on timing and precision and rhythm and guys being in the right spot at the right time and putting the ball in the proper number. And it started with Bill Walsh and Montana and Paul Hackett and on down to the iteration that we got to, and I loved it. In that offense, though, it's not predicated on motion. It's predicated on winning one-on-one matchups and then being accurate throwing the football. And so that's what I grew up in. I marveled at Peyton Manning during his prime would run all 2x2 and 3x1 formations with no motion, just because you wanted to look at it and use this cadence variation to get movement. And then be able to go with tempo as well. When you have so much motion, it's hard to get tempo going. It's because you always got to make sure you're set, and you got a motion, maybe a double motion, maybe this thing, maybe this adjustment off of it. I just like sometimes, and I tell them the same thing. I'm not telling you guys anything I wouldn't tell him. Got after him today because every freaking play there's goddamn motion. I'm like, can we run one play without a motion and pass so we can get some tempo going? Because I like to switch the tempo. But in this offense, it does put a lot of stress on the defense because you have a motion.
So we can get some
you have an outside zone look. You have a guy sealing backside.
I know. It's
and
it's not
off of that, we have a run.
Hang on.
We have a screen. We have a keeper. We have an action pass. So you have so many different looks off the same stuff. That's why it works. It's a little frustrating when you grew up in the West Coast offense and your mindset is all about protection and X's and adjustments and different things when you're playing an offense that doesn't have a lot of those things and maybe could use it at times. And also when it kind of fucks up the protection schemes and lanes and identification sometimes, it just makes it, it makes it a little extra strenuous sometimes on the quarterback.
I'm starting to think you might know football.
A little bit.
Do you think football is beautiful?
I do.
I can tell.
When done right, yeah.
What's the most beautiful play?
Good question.
Oh,
Dang it. Maybe I don't know where it is.
to.
All right.
First
now
of
I'm
all,
mad.
let me- first of
now
all-
I'm really mad. I can't
Okay,
find the
okay.
exact spot.
Let's kill this.
Talk.
All right. First of all, let me just say this here.
I'll be back in a second.
Aaron Rodgers, first of all, said the worst potty word on our show has ever been said. Like, neither of us have ever said that. That's him. That's not us. Okay. Don't give us a bad rating or say we're bad for kids or whatever based on that. Number 2, Rick says it exactly. I mean, what the things he. I don't know how you can listen to this man speak and then watch him play and watch what he does and says and not say he's a huge hypocrite. He totally is. He is a hypocrite. He talks about wanting to play tempo and do all this, yet he's the one that they're set up, they're lined up, they're ready to go, and I'm going to run the play clock down to damn 1 second or 0 seconds every freaking time? Like, what? It's just blatant hypocrisy. It can't live in reality and make sense. Come on, man. And then, so this is why I just stopped listening to him talk, because it's just self-preservation drivel. Everything that comes out of his mouth is about himself, for himself, to preserve himself, to put himself in the best light. It is never taking responsibility. It is never owning up to anything. It is never even what he believes in. It's what is the best, most self-serving to him. And people that live like that, I don't have time for. So I don't listen to his drivel anymore. I don't unless I absolutely have to. The only reason I listened to the one part is because I wanted to hear what he was going to say about running game and stuff like that. And I heard him say it. I heard him criticize the receivers and say they made mistakes. And I heard Matt LaFleur say they didn't make mistakes. So, again, I want to get Matt LaFleur drunk, and I want to ask him all these questions and find out what the real deal is sometime. Okay. You guys have a bunch of awesome comments. We'll flip them through here. And again, the motion is what screws people up. It screwed up the Packers defense 100 times in the last game. Motion. And also, let's go back. This is not, we don't have the tape, but let's go back to what Aaron Rodgers said back when he was running the beautiful West Coast Mike McCarthy beautiful offense that he talks about. He sat there and said he was looking at the other teams, like Jared Goff was looking good, playing Sean McVay's offense, right? Matt Ryan, Matty Ice won an MVP. He's like, man, it looks like fun what they're doing. Why can't we do some of that? I want to do some of that. And then he got a chance to do some of that because the coach came in and they got the coach to do some of that, to bring in that system. To do that, Aaron Rodgers learned the system and just says, well, now I know more than you because there's flaws in this system. I'm going to run it only when it makes sense. That's what he just effing said. And he swore on our damn show, which is not okay, Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I've done it many a time. I've done it
Yeah,
many
but
a time.
you only said, I think, that F word one time.
Let me know when you're done with your rant. I got one more to show.
Am I done now? I'm done. Okay.
Okay, get ready for this. You're going to love this. This is what I've been talking about, too. And I'm sorry, folks. I just got to... It's time to be honest. It's time to be honest. We people need to know what's going on with this world. Tell me you got audio.
That's
Audio?
what we had to figure out.
You got audio?
Yep.
Okay. Listen to this.
Was pairing his knowledge of scheme with my knowledge of experience, on the field. And obviously he's called games. He was coordinator in Tennessee, but I think after the first year in the offseason, we really paired those things up. And we whittled down the offense, took out stuff that we never ran or that didn't work, kind of put a couple things back in that had worked in the past. And it changed a lot of things, I think, for our offense, and changed how him and I interacted. The trust was there, and I stopped feeling like, I was a game manager, and I felt like we took the reins off of, or the blinders off of the offense and kind of let us run free and had a couple really good years of offensive football.
There you go. That's what I've been talking about. That's what I've been talking about.
We had a couple of good years
felt
of
like a
MVP football.
That's right. I was a game manager. He took the reins off. 2019 was the best season Aaron Rodgers of the Matt LaFleur era in offensive production. And he couldn't handle the fact that Aaron Jones got 21 touchdowns, got a bunch of credit, and became a number 33 overall player in the NFL. He couldn't handle that fact.
Because it wasn't about him.
It wasn't about him. Listen, I've been saying this for years.
He might be one of the most
And
selfish.
now he is saying it himself. And everybody can hear him say it himself. Those two clips just showed what I've been saying for years. And I'm so sick of being told that he's the greatest thing ever and he's all this crap. And the sad part is he was really good. And he still can be really good. What's wrong with being a game manager?
Absolutely
Kirk Cousins
nothing.
is a game manager. He wins. Tom Brady's been a game manager his whole life. He's got 7 freaking Super Bowls, Aaron Rodgers. You think he got him because he did whatever he wanted? He ran the system. They won games. Was he always the greatest player on the field? No. And he knew he wasn't the best player on the field. And he won 7 damn Super Bowls. And he got to 10. You've gotten to 1. And you won 1.
I love how he states. So we took away the things that didn't work. What do you ever review all
What
those
didn't
plays
work?
that you called Aaron Rodgers that didn't work and get rid of those damn plays when you redo the review? No. If you took that same approach with the stuff that he calls, I wonder how many of his plays would be left. Not many, because it hasn't worked for almost 12 years. I'm sorry to interrupt, but that just
No, you're good.
That one too, just come on, man.
And I'm sorry I tried to have to find that stuff, but I've been trying to express what I saw him or heard him say over the last couple of weeks or months since I saw these 2 interviews. But it doesn't have the same impact as hearing him say it himself and hearing him say all the same things that I've been talking about. I'm right, everybody. I've been right for 3 years. And it's because I watched the film and I see it. And the worst part is I know he can be awesome.
Right?
He was my favorite player, everybody. He was my favorite player. I hated Brett Favre because all the interceptions he threw.
Yep.
And I fell in love with this man because he freaking would take chances and throw the ball downfield. 43 touchdown passes of 40-plus yards in his first 7 years as a starter. That's insanity.
But he would also be smart.
Yeah,
and
he wasn't throwing a bunch of picks.
And take what the defense gave him. Like he attacked, but he also back off and take what the defense. He'd run the simple plays back in the day, until he got so big that then all of a sudden, and then he thought he knew more. He just showed you right there.
He thinks
Okay?
he knows more than his coach by a lot.
Yep. So how did you think it was going to work with McCarthy? Of course, at some point he took over. He thought he knew more than McCarthy. McCarthy, get the hell out of here. Maybe he did.
Well,
But
based
that's-
on the Cowboys, I would say he probably did.
But that was still your coach, and that was still the offensive coordinator for such a long time and play caller. And I don't know. Look, man.
The other thing is, it's
Wow.
when he runs his system, there's no preparation. Like a lot of times you'll play call, you'll call a play
How do you-
a couple times to set up a play later on in the
Right.
game,
Right.
for a big strike. But when he's calling, he's just calling whatever, based on what the defense is doing, and it doesn't set anything up for later. And that's the problem.
Come back to that, Zero. Zero says, should we draft a QB in the next draft?
No,
Jordan, I wouldn't give up on Jordan Love yet.
I wouldn't either. I don't think he's that bad yet.
I think he can run this offense. I'm not saying he's going to make a bunch of wild plays, but I think he can run this offense if
What
given
would
the
you do
opportunity.
if you were a manager, okay, and you have somebody on your team who's been there before you got there, and they think they know everything, and that's fine. And you worked for 6 months to get ready for, let's say a retail example. You get ready for Christmas time, okay, and where everything's going to go and how everything's going to get planned up and how you're going to organize this back room. And it sounds weird. It's what I do. It's what I've been doing for years. And you spent 6 months getting everybody involved, letting them know what's going on. And this other guy's been on vacation for 6 months. And then he shows up, and you have a plan that you've worked out with all your team. And he comes in and he's like, yeah, I don't know if I like that plan. How about if we do this? And then the owner is like, or the manager of the whole store is like, yeah, we got to do what this guy says. He's been here for 20 years. I mean, that's 20 years of experience. And then you're like, wait a minute, I just spent 6 months setting this up, organizing it. I have the plan. I've always had the plan. I got it all stretched perfect. Like, this is what's going to happen based on the amount of space we have, amount of items we have coming in, where things are going to go, so that when everything is here, we can run it smooth. And then the manager of the store says, nah, we're going to do with this. Okay, we can do some of that, but I think this guy's got 20 years experience. I mean, we got to go with that. So how would you feel if you just spent 6 months organizing your offense, working with a player, Jordan Love, and he's running your system for 6 months. And then this other guy's been on vacation for 6 months. And then he shows up and he's like, yeah, we're going to do this. Sorry. And then you score 7 points in your first game, and you have to answer all these questions as to why it happened. And you know why it happened, but you can't say why it happened. I know I've got like a weird delay going on, and I'm sorry. I hope you can hear everything I'm saying. But
I can hear you, but it's a little bit off. But that's okay. It's just,
I don't know what happened, but by me sharing all these
Bruce Lee movies or something. But
yeah, well, hey, that's okay.
Well, you got the hand, you get the hands going too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to it. I want to get Matt LaFleur drunk, and I want to get honest, the real deal out of the guy. It'd be so great. It'd be so great. Oh my god. It's just wrong. It's just wrong, dude.
I hope I didn't ruin this. It's hard to be a Packer fan. I got to be honest, and I am a Packer fan.
And I'm gonna be honest too. Let me just put it out there, since you're being so forthright. I'm always honest, but I'll be forthright as well and bring this out. A couple of times that Rodgers got crushed, I enjoyed it. I liked it. I don't know if I say
that. I still think he's the best quarterback on the team.
But when he held the ball so long, I was like, you know what? You kind of deserve it. So I chuckled a little bit. Watch him go down in a heap once in a while. If you're going to play that way and not throw to the guy on time, you kind of deserve it sometimes. Well, how else are we going to learn your lesson? But I know it's hard for him to learn his lesson, right? Because he knows
he said,
everything.
I'm not going to change the way I play. That's what he said this week.
He's not going to change. He knows everything. Knows more than his coaches. He knows it more than everybody. Great. Then let's start seeing some Super Bowls, Aaron Rodgers. Because otherwise, all you're saying is that your way does not equal Super Bowls. So maybe we're doing it your way. How many years do coaches get? Generally.
They don't get this many.
No. How many? Can they have their way fail 10 years in a row and still have a job? And still get paid the most in the league and have a job? No.
Mike McCarthy got fired. But did he get fired because of him or because of somebody else? And it scares me, and I don't want to ruin this game coming up. It's the Bears game. It's the opening game of the season. I know. We talked about him on our earlier show. Go watch that.
I know. But we'll wrap up with a little Bears talk here.
I'm sorry, everybody.
We'll stop hammering this. Because I think at this point, with the people that are here, David, Zero, Lee, Randy,
these are all people
Butter,
that believe in us.
They all get it.
They get it. They've seen it.
You all get it.
They've seen it, so they know.
So
hopefully they won't take us down because I showed some clips from 2 different shows. But
don't worry.
I'm promoting them. Busting with the boys, the Barstool Sports with the Big Cat, who's a Bear fan, by the way. Hey,
yep.
Kudos for you guys getting Aaron Rodgers on your show and getting him to say stuff that I've been saying for years, and he finally said it in his own voice, and you heard him say it.
I think Big Cat's probably a fan of Lucas Patrick. I would say.
I would guess probably so.
You know what? I sent you the clip because. And I only sent it to you because the very beginning, Matt Eberflus's post-game speech, it was fine. But the very beginning of that, if you watched it, you got a guy coming in the locker room all jacked up, super fired up. We talked about people getting people fired up and have a big reaction from his teammates, and it was Lucas Patrick. Now, I love him. You know I love him, but partly because of the way he played, partly because he's a great Packer, but also because he's just a great dude. I thought it was such crap, universe crap, whoever controls this stuff, for him to injure his thumb like 2 practices in when he finally was given the starting job at center. Garbage, but he powers through. And last week, they were rotating him in and out at guard. Like, he played some series, and the next series, Tevin Jenkins is back in. And then he was back in. So a lot of guys would bitch and complain about that or get sour about it. But you know what he did? He played hard with a wrapped up hand because he couldn't use his thumb yet. And couldn't hold guys as good because you don't have this hand. So that didn't help him, but he still did his best. And then the other thing he did when he wasn't in the game and on the sideline, he's cheering him on. He's like the first guy on the sideline. So what I saw is, and this isn't just about him, what I saw for the Bears is they're building a team culture. Now, they're not good enough to beat the Packers yet, and the Packers should destroy them in this game. But the Bears are building a team, and right now the Packers don't look like a team. They got Jair complaining about stuff. They got Rodgers questioning his coach. They got the coach coming out calling guys out. They got, I don't know. So it's a good thing they're not good yet and that they still suck, but they're going to play hard. They're going to play hard, and they're starting to rally around Fields, and he's not that good yet either. He's not, but at least he plays. He's just worried about winning. Justin Fields is trying to win. He's not trying to make splashy plays. He's not trying to pad stats. He's not trying to not throw picks. He's just trying to win. That's all he's trying to do in the way he knows how. Anyway,
I thought Bruce Lee left the building, but he's back.
Dang it. So anyway, good thing the Bears still suck. They do suck. Luke, it's a brand new system, new coaches, bunch of new players. I think that linebacker from the Raiders, though, Morrow, I liked him. He was flashing in the game, even that sloppy, wet game. They talk about Roquan Smith. He's kind of a pain in the ass, if you ask me. Guy who, held out as a rookie and then holding out again and complained about his contract. Just play football or don't play football. I don't care, but don't whine and complain and be a pain in the ass. Their offensive line is not good, but they're getting better. And Fields is not a great passer, but he's elusive. He can make some plays. So you got to work. You got to be disciplined, at least in this game. I think is key, right? Disciplined rush, disciplined coverage. When the first big play that jump-started their offense last week for the Bears, he flushed way out to the left and threw all the way back across to the right, and just everybody dropped coverage on the guy because they got all out of whack because they're like, oh, he's over here, so everybody runs over this way, and the guy just stands there, is like, hey, I'm over here, nobody's around me, I don't care if it's across the field, throw it, and he's like, oh, nobody's over there, I'll throw it. So play discipline, and you should be able to beat the Bears into the ground. They're not that good. Even though Lucas had a lot of confidence going into it when he first said he was anticipated he was still going to win these matchups, I don't think he has much of a shot, but, whatever. That's my take on all that stuff. We got a bunch of comments, Ben, and we'll get your take. Lions, look, I love the Lions. I hope the Lions win some games. I hope they're competitive. They're a good team. They got heart. They play hard. Jamal Williams had a big day last week. Look at that, huh? Nobody knew about that. Jamal Williams, like 18-something fantasy points last week.
He had 2 touchdowns.
That's better than most of my guys. Actually, pretty much all my guys. Oh, and I'm sorry I broke Justin Herbert. That's me. The reason why Justin Herbert stunk and injured his ribs and all that stuff, that's all my fault. I drafted him in fantasy football, so there you go.
Yep, you deserve it.
And Ben made Joe Burrow suck the first week. That was his fault.
I still won, though. That's fine. Joe Burrow still got me over 20 points in fantasy, even though he had 4 interceptions. That just shows you there. He had 4 interceptions and a fumble, and he still got more points than Aaron Rodgers had. Because Aaron Rodgers got like 3 points.
Yeah.
Ask Nico. Nico's got him on his team.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It was a fumble and a pick and not a lot of success. Oh, God. What do the Packers do to win the game? We know. We already talked about it. Run the ball. A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones. Attack the middle of the field sometimes. Use Christian Watson. Throw it to him.
I'll see it when I believe it. Right now, I don't want to talk about the Bears. Yeah. I want to see them. Because if they do what they've been doing, if Rodgers says he's not going to change, well, then what's going to change? What's going to change?
That's true.
Are we going to have to win 10-7 because the defense just shuts everybody down all the time? Because this offense is going to score 7 points, 10 points at the most.
I don't care if that's how we win. I just want the defense to be dominant. The defense has to be dominant. So let's play that way. Defense be awesome. Don't screw it up on offense. Win games. I'm okay with that. It doesn't have to be exciting and all this passing and stuff for me. I'm fine with low scoring, defensive dominated games. But the defense has to be dominant, not like they were last week. So get your crap together, know what you're doing, understand your assignments, and play those assignments.
I wouldn't say he quit. There's 0.
I wouldn't say that either.
And he was down by 20 at that point. That was after the fumble, and they gave up another field goal, and it was 20-0. So they had 0 points. They just had their first offensive series, and he fumbled. And there was really no hope in sight. And A.J. Dillon said that it was Aaron Jones' run that fired up the sidelines again. Because everybody was down. Yeah, and Josh Myers' run, too, because that's all he did was run in that play. But, I mean, but A.J. Dillon said that. He's like, the sideline was bad. Like, I was trying to get guys pumped up, and nobody would get pumped up. And then Aaron Jones had that run, and all of a sudden it changed the game. It changed the sidelines. It changed the defense. The defense got hope again because they saw us do something on offense. They saw us make a huge play. Yeah. And then we went down and we scored the touchdown on that same drive. That was their only drive they scored was because Aaron Jones. How many times did we see Aaron Jones do that over the last 3 years? We come out in the second half, we're all sluggish and crappy, and then Jones gets a huge play that sets up something, right? Mm-hmm. It happened all the time. Not as much last year, but that's because Rodgers was not going to let him do it.
But 2020, it happened a lot.
2020 and 19. So what I'm saying is, I don't know what's going to happen on Sunday. I don't know what to expect. Sunday Night Football, Lambeau Field, Packers, Bears.
The Bears are not that good.
The Bears aren't going to just lay down.
No, and I will say they're the only thing. Here's the one thing I noticed. The Bears have pretty good outside pass rushers, but they ended up picking up Mike Pennell, and he's a huge guy. He's massive. Like, he's 330 some pounds, just built, he should destroy guys. And that's what you always felt like when he was on the Packers too. If nobody remembers Mike Pennell, is a massive dude. Played with the Chiefs, played with a couple other teams. Now he's on the Bears. He ended up being in the game, and he got blocked all the time. And not just blocked, he got pushed back. And I'm like, Mike Pennell, you are a monster of a man. You should not get pushed back. So I feel if he's playing for the Bears interior-wise, I feel comfortable with that. And even though he looks like a monster, he plays like a big marshmallow. But so even if the tackles get beat, there should be room to step up into the pocket for Aaron Jones, or for Aaron Rodgers, I mean. And there should be running room in the middle for Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. So I think they're going to be okay. I don't know. But, I mean, the Packers have way more talent than the Bears. They should win this game handily. Plus, it's at home. I don't know. We talked a lot. Sorry, we got through some emotions. Dude, we appreciate all of you. We should do... It's been a long night. We won't do this again.
4 hours. 4 hours of Hafman Bros. Well, I guess it's only 3 hours, but
3 hours. But 3 hours is enough.
We had an hour break in there, but it was still a lot of 7 o'clock until 11 o'clock. Doing
and it
Hafman
was
Bros.
Some heavy stuff.
To lose my mind.
Some heavy stuff. We got some emotions out. We worked through some issues. It was a good therapy session.
I didn't work through it. I just yelled and got mad.
Zero says the Bears know there's blood in the water. Oh, I don't know. Zero. I mean, the Packers should be. The coaches should have been able to get on them this week. They should take it seriously. They should play better. They should play harder. And if the defense comes out strong, they should have no problem because the defense is probably going to score some touchdowns. The defense is going to shut them down. The defense should lead the way in this game. And Aaron Rodgers isn't going to throw a bunch of picks, so you can't screw it up too bad. So I think it's fine. Okay. Final scores, throw them in the chat if you're still around. If you hung around this long, thanks to you. You're crazy people, but appreciate it. I'm going to say last week I went with a very low scoring output, and unfortunately that was almost correct for the Packers, but not correct for the Vikings. I said 10-9 Packers would win. Instead, that wasn't the case. I'm going to say in this game the Packers do win 34-24. Zero says 21-13 Bears. Oh my God, Zero. No faith in the Packers offense?
Zero. Are you even a Packer fan? Sometimes you scare me, man.
He's ready for a different type of Packers team.
I am too.
David says 17-10 Pack. Man. I don't think weather could get a little sloppy.
I think it's I'm thinking 24-10. I think they'll
24-10.
score 3 touchdowns.
Zero smells a loss. I don't think the Packers can go 0-2 here to start the season against NFC North opponents.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what to expect, but it's scaring me, and I got Bruce Lee subtitles going on, and
they got to get fired
whatever.
up. The Packers got to get fired up, and they should be. The home crowd's going to be fired up. They're going to be ready to go. We will see. All right. Thanks for hanging with us. Thanks for being Packers fans. And I know sometimes there are some trials and tribulations with it, but in the end, we're all about the team. We just need the team to be more about the team. Let's be a team. If this group comes together as a team, they can do well. If they stay in these kind of individual fractions like they're being right now, and it'll still be probably a solid year, but it's not going to be what we all want. All right. Be good, stay good. And as always, go Pack Go, and bro, Pack Bro.
Tell me why the unicorn must you